Yeah.
Okay, Pat. This way. Okay.
Oh, okay.
You see it?
So once I click start, click that.
Yeah, it's already on.
And then which one you go back to live?
Don't worry about it. That's high. All right. Shalom, 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 shabbat to everybody. Shalom, shabbat. Yeah, boy, I tell you, man. I couldn't go live last night. It was a whole lot of technical difficulties, a lot of problem. Let's see if it's going to work today. The grace of the Most High. I say shalom, shalom. I'm sorry to all Israel for that problem. I was so pissed, man. Man. All right, but we're going to continue our class today by the grace of the Most High willing. We're going to continue. And I say shalom, shalom to all Israel far and near. All right, so we're going to go into it. But first, let me give my little rant, my little startup about certain things. All right, current events. All right, so the subject of my class today is a rehash of something that I see that I have to bring back again, because we're very close now to our exodus. All right, America is on its way out, and we have reached now the 6,000 year mark from the creation that the Most High gave man dominion over the face of the earth. We're in the 6,000 year. All right, I mean, we're very close to the return of Yahushua HaMashiach. All right, the deliverance of our people from captivity and the restoration of us as a people, and Yahushua to restore the kingdom upon this earth and to rid this earth of evil and wickedness and corruption and sin. That's the time we're living in. So we saw, as a matter of fact, the topic of my class is 430, 400 years? Joseph, Moses, Israel and Egypt, 215 years, 80 years. Those are the numbers I'm putting out there, because the scriptures, when you read the scripture, it says 430, 400 years. But in all actuality, the length of time that we spent in Egypt, from the time that Jacob went down into Egypt with his sons, is 215 years, 215. And out of that 215 years, only 80 years was of slavery. Okay, it's not 430 years, nor 400 years in slavery in Egypt. That's impossible. There's no record in Egypt. There's no historical fact showing you a nation of people was enslaved in Egypt for 430 years or 400 years. I'm going to get into that, because when you read about the covenant the Most High made with Abraham, it started with Abraham. That's the count. That's when the count began. The 430 years included Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And the other half of that 215 years began when Jacob went down into Egypt with his sons. That began the other half of the 215 years until the Exodus with Moses. All right? And I'm going to show you two counts, two variation of counts. When Joseph began to rule, and the 9th year of his rule, which is when Jacob and his sons came into Egypt. Joseph ruled, he was in his 9th year of his rulership when Jacob and his sons came into Egypt. But prior to that, Joseph was already ruling in Egypt at the age of 30. And we're going to go into that also. Sister Shaiba. Sister Shaiba, let me get her glasses right there. Thank you. All right, the water. All right. So let me Now I know some people was upset and mad and angry. Oh, blasphemy! When they saw Teflon Don posing as the Messiah. Why are you getting mad? The both images are blasphemous. Trump is not doing nothing what he's supposed to do.
Right.
The guy in the picture is the same as Trump. They're both the same. Both the same. So how you say it's blasphemous? The whole picture itself of that false image of the Messiah is blasphemous.
That's right.
All right. But Trump is only showing you what America is about. And I hope he continue doing what he's doing, because that only shows the decline and how rapid this place is going down. And I give the Most High all praise that he's exposing this wicked, evil kingdom. They get mad and angry got Trump pros as the Messiah. Well, who told you the Messiah is a white boy? Who told you he was white anyway? You've been pushing this life for the last 500 years, and it's about to be rooted up and destroyed, totally abolished. All right? So that's what the Most High is doing. And it was another thing I wanted to talk about too. I got to talk about this all the time, because this thing, it really hurts and vexes my spirit. With the Tulsa, Oklahoma, how you destroyed Tulsa, Oklahoma. And the sister that was the last surviving survivor that survived that Tulsa riots. She lived over 100 and something years. And every day she was going to the courts fighting to get justice and reparations for the injustice, for the terrorist act that America committed against that community of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Right. And she never received no reparations, no justice, nothing for those 100 and something years that she lived. And that shows you that America has to pay dearly for what they have done to us. And this is showing you how close we are. Then it was another incident with the Roxbury brothers. Some brothers, there was about 6 or 7 brothers that was riding the train. I think they was going somewhere, and this white woman came up and said, "He raped me, rape me." And these devils didn't wait for no jury to find out if they were guilty or innocent. And what they did, they formed a mob of over 1,000 devils and dragged them out and hanged them and killed them. And guess what? When it came out, when the jury came out, the facts and the proof, they was found not guilty. All those white boys, all right? It was law enforcement involved. They were found not guilty, okay? And these are crimes that has to be noted that the Most High is going to judge America for. And thirdly, when the UN came out and said that slavery was one of the most humane crimes against humanity, against mankind, what did the United States say? Oh no, we're not agreeing with that. We're not going to sign to it. We're against it. You devils going to pay for that, man. You have signed your death warrant by doing that. You understand? Because this is when the Most High is going to really drop the hammer. And what you see him taking place in your society, where Iran is putting belt to your behind, your troops are going over there, this is all part of the judgment. You're not escaping the Most High judgment. And the 400 years that the Bible speaks about, it was over here in the Americas. In America, the islands of the Caribbean, Central and South America. It was not in ancient Egypt. That's the 400 years that the Most High told Abraham. Most High said, Abraham, know for surety that thy seed shall be in a land that's not theirs, and they shall afflict them 400 years. That 400 years is right here in America, not Egypt. We're going to go into that. Okay? What the Most High was showing Abraham was a prophetic vision. The Most High had to put Abraham into a deep sleep to show him the horror of a vision. Okay? And that horror of that vision was the transatlantic slave trade over here in the Americas, the island of the Caribbean, Central and South America. That's what the Most High was showing Abraham. Okay? So that's my little rant for now. Maybe if any more comes up, I'm gonna dip it in, but I gotta drop those little tidbits in because it's time for judgment. Okay? Judgment has to be brought into the earth. Now, I want to say some Stu, but let me jump into my class right away. All right. Okay. So we're gonna start off, but I give all praise and glory and thanks to the Most High that He's allowing me this day to provide this information and to all that have ears to hear. Okay. So I want to show you. I'm gonna use I have a lot of history books to show, but I'm just going to show one for now. And this particular history book is called World History. Okay, I'm gonna use some source from here. It's called World History. Okay, and the author is McDougall Littell. Okay, so it's a World History patterns of iteration. Now I want to read here from and here. I want to read a certain part in here because you have to understand the history of the Hyksos. I don't know if everybody knows about the Hyksos. The Hyksos were another group of Canaanites, family to the Egyptians. And the Hyksos had took over Egypt for roughly about maybe 150 years. They came into Egypt, they overthrew Egypt, they brought in the most advanced chariots into Egypt, the most advanced weapons, and they took the Egyptian empire down. And when they came into Egypt, they took over the known part of Egypt known as Lower Egypt. And their base was known in the Nile Delta Valley as Avaris. And when they took over Egypt, they pushed the native Egyptians, the Kemetic people, down into Upper Egypt. Egypt is characterized into three different variations of the land. You have Lower Egypt, which is up north. That's the area where we were situated in when we came into Egypt. It was known as the land of Goshen. Then you have Middle Egypt, the Middle Kingdom. Then you also have Upper Egypt, where it's down south, closer to where the Nubians and the Ethiopians are, in the area close to Sudan. This is the area where the Egyptians was ruling from when the Hyksos took over Egypt. While the Hyksos was ruling, the native Egyptians was not able to take over all of Egypt. Okay, they was only controlling the area of Upper Egypt. The Hyksos had the area of Lower Egypt and parts of Middle Egypt, and they control and rule that area. And then when Joseph went down to Egypt, the Hyksos was still ruling, and he was able to get in real good with the Hyksos. Now, a lot of the Hyksos also became pharaohs and adopted a lot of Egyptian culture and customs. So they were calling themselves pharaohs, and they were doing the same thing the Egyptians was doing. But the only thing that they didn't do, they did not discriminate against shepherds, because they themselves were shepherds. The name Hyksos also means foreign rulers of a foreign land, and it also means shepherd kings. The Hyksos were shepherds, just like we were shepherds. So when we came into the land, they gave Joseph the best of the land, the most fertile land in the Nile Delta Valley, which is Lower Egypt. Okay, it was called Goshen. Goshen was situated near to Avaris. So when we came into Egypt, that's the land that the pharaohs gave us, the land of Goshen in the lower parts of Egypt. Okay, so we're going to read a brief history on that, and we're going to go into the scriptures and show you that when the scripture speaks about 430 years, 400 years, it was not referring to the length of time that we served slavery in Egypt. Let me repeat that again. When the Bible speaks about the 400 years with Abraham, 430 years in the book of Exodus 12 and 40, it's not referring to our time that we spent as slaves in Egypt. Okay, we did not spend 430 nor 400 years as slaves in Egypt. The duration and length of time that we spent in Egypt as a people is 215 years altogether. And that point began when Jacob went down into Egypt with his sons. And while he went down into Egypt at that particular time, Joseph was in rulership of Egypt. Okay, so I'm going to show you two time period. All right, we all know Joseph began to rule at the age of 30, and he died at the age of 110. So from the time that he ruled to the time he died was a duration of 80 years altogether. But when Jacob and his sons came into Egypt, that began 71 years of his rulership when they came into Egypt. So they came into Egypt in the 9th year of his reign, the 9th year of Joseph ruling Egypt. And that's when the famine was taking place. Okay? So 9 years before that, he was already ruling. But his family did not come into Egypt at that time. They came into Egypt at the 71 year of his reign. Okay? So we're going to go into that and read all that. It might sound confusing, but bear with me. If you listen good and follow me, you're going to see, oh my gosh, why I didn't see that? It was right there all the time. But we have to search out the scriptures and check out history and reread the scriptures over and over again. And the Most High always put key points and numbers in everything that he deals with. The Most High put the age of Moses. He put the age of Joseph when he reigned. Okay. He put the time with Abraham. He gave him a time clock. Okay. So let's read a few captions in this history book. All right. We'll start off here with reading these captions in the history book. Okay, that's what it says here. Setting the stage. During the Middle Kingdom, about 2080 to 1640 BC, trade with Mesopotamia and the Indus Valley enriched Egypt. Now, who was ruling the Indus Valley? Everybody know about the Indus Valley civilization? Who was ruling that? It started by somebody famous. It started by Nimrod, but it was ruled by Shem's firstborn son, Elam, the Elamites. Elamites, Elam, which are known as what you call the Tamil or the Dravidian or the East Indian people. They started that Indus Valley civilization over there in the era of Iran, India, Bangladesh, Pakistan. Okay, all that area was called the Indus Valley civilization. Okay, now I'm continue reading on. It says trade with Mesopotamia and the Indus Valley enriched Egypt, located in northeastern Africa. Meanwhile, up the Nile River, less than 600 miles south of the Egyptian city of Thebes, a major kingdom had developed in the region of Nubia. For centuries, the Nubian kingdom of Kush traded with Egypt. Two kingdoms influenced each other. So Nubia were the Ethiopians, okay? And they were also fighting for rival against the native Egyptians. So let's go into our history. Now, the new kingdom of Egypt, after the prosperity of the Middle Kingdom. Now, the Middle Kingdom, like I said before, we had three kingdoms. Had influence of the Hyksos, but the true native Egyptians was in the upper kingdom that was close to Nubia and Sudan. All right. So after the prosperity of the Middle Kingdom, Egypt descended into war and violence. This was caused by a succession of weak pharaohs and power struggles among rival nobles. The weakened country fell to invaders who swept across the isthmus of the Suez in chariots. This was the Hyksos. They came into Egypt and took Egypt over. Okay. They came in the isthmus of the Suez in chariots, a weapon of war unknown to the Egyptians, right? Because the Hyksos came with unknown high tech of weapons and chariots into Egypt, and this is how they was able to take down the native Egyptians and subdue them. And when this happened, this was one of the most embarrassing moments in Egyptian history. Okay, this was so embarrassing. The Egyptian called it one of the most detestable and the most humiliating point in their history. And guess what the Egyptians did? The true native Kemetic Egyptian did. They omitted two dynasties out of Egypt that the Hyksos ruled in. It was the 15 and 16 dynasty of Egypt. The true native Egyptians omitted those dynasties from their records. They skipped those dynasties and they went straight to the 17th dynasty that was ruled by the native Egyptians in Upper Egypt. Okay? And when they ruled in that 17th dynasty, right, under Ammuz, who was the first ruler of that dynasty, they expelled the Hyksos. They pushed the Hyksos out. All right? So the Hyksos played a vital role in Egypt. The beginning of Jacob coming into Egypt was during the time of the Hyksos rule. While Joseph was ruling in Egypt, the Hyksos was ruling Egypt, not the true native Egyptians. Okay? So I'm going to continue reading on. Okay? And this is what it says. These invaders, nomads called Hyksos, ruled Egypt from 1640 to 1570. It was a little more longer than that. They ruled for over 100 years. All right? The Hyksos invasion took the Egyptians' confidence in the desert, barriers that had been protected their kingdom. All right? Around 1600 BC, a series of warlike rulers began to restore Egypt's power. Among those who helped to drive out the Hyksos was Queen Ahotep. The queen took over when her husband died in battle. The next pharaoh, known as Kamuz, won a great victory over the hatred Hyksos. This when they expelled the Hyksos. And this the point where it is said in the scriptures, there came a new king over Egypt that knew not Joseph. This was this ruler that expelled the Hyksos.
Call his name again, Ben.
Okay, his name was Kamuz, also known as Ammuz. Okay, he became the first ruler of the 17th dynasty of Egypt. All right, and Joseph ruled at the end of that dynasty. Okay, remember, Joseph died before the Hyksos were expelled. Okay, so Kamuz won a great victory over the hated Hyksos. His successors drove the Hyksos completely out of Egypt and pursued them across the Sinai Peninsula into Palestine. Where were they driven to? Into the land of Canaan, because they were Canaanites that had took over Egypt. They were known as Hyksos, shepherd kings, or what Egyptians call foreign rulers of Egypt. They were shepherds that took over Egypt. All right. After overthrowing the Hyksos rulers, the pharaohs of the new kingdom, about 1570 to 1075 BC, sought to strengthen Egypt by building an empire. Egypt now entered its third dynasty of Egypt. Okay, the 18th dynasty of Egypt. That's the new kingdom. During this time, it was wealthier and more powerful than ever before. Now, okay, let me read something else here to you. Okay, I'll come back to that, but let me go into the scriptures. All right. Okay, put this aside for now. Let me show you something in the scriptures. Now, we're going to go to the book of Genesis.
Yep.
All right.
49, 46.
go to the book of Genesis. I want to show you some key components to show you how I came about with the time period with Joseph in Egypt.
Ben, somebody said I could hear his accent. I know he's Jamaican.
All right, but
Never left the borough.
all right, but I tell you what, let's go back to Genesis. Let's go back to Genesis, the 15th chapter. Let's go back there first, where it started from, when the Most High made the covenant with yeah, I'm a Benjamite, but I'm not a Jamaican. But Jamaica is like a second home to me. I love Jamaica. That's my big up Jamaica. All right, can't leave out Jamaica. I'm from the VI though, but love Jamaica. That's like a second home. Been there, love there. Want to go back there again. All right, long time. All right, yeah. They're saying nothing better than yard. All right, all right. So let's go to Genesis 15. Okay, Zachariah, you're gonna read here. Start here from Genesis 15, right?
Top.
No, we're gonna start here from start from this start from Genesis 15. You know what? Start from the first verse. Start from the first verse. Yeah.
We have the
All
book
right.
of Genesis. After these things, the word of the Lord Most High came unto Abram in a vision.
See, the Most High came to him in a vision. Okay, Father Abraham. Father Abraham was not a Caucasian. He was, let me put it, he wasn't a white man. Father Abraham was a black man, okay, a Hebrew, okay, from the line of Shem. Right? He was Shemitic. That's where his lineage came from. Continue.
Saying, fear not, Abram. I am thy shield and thy exceeding great reward. And Abram said, Lord Adonai, Most High Power, what wilt thou give me, seeing I go childless, and the steward of my house is this Eliezer of Damascus? And Abram said, behold, to me thou hast given no seed.
So Abraham was saying, listen, I don't have no seed. I don't have no sons. I don't have nobody yet. All right, continue.
And lo, one born in my house is mine here. And behold, the word of the Lord Most High came unto him, saying, this shall not be thine here.
So the Most High said, the person that you have in your house, he's not going to be your heir. He's not going to be your progenitor to receive the inheritance or anything that you have. Okay, continue.
But he that shall come forth out of thine own bowels shall be thy heir.
Right. So you know Abraham had many sons. Okay, he had many sons. Okay, the Arabs, the true Arabs, came out of Abraham, known as the Ishmaelites. Okay, the children of Israel came out of Abraham. Then you had the Midianites also came out from Abraham, and Abraham gave each of them inheritance. Okay, they all had inheritance. You see the Arabs today. You see all that land they have and all that oil. That was part of their inheritance that was given to them by Abraham. Okay, they enjoyed the splendor and the wealth of the entire so-called East over there in that area of Arabia, Bahrain, Qatar, Oman, the Arab Emirates. Okay, all that area you see over there, spreading through Arabia, Oman, Qatar, Dubai. All right, all the areas of Saudi Arabia, that belongs to them, to Ishmael, the Arabs, and his other brother known as the Midianites. Okay, so they was given that inheritance by Abraham. That's their land, but they never discovered the oil there until the Europeans went there for their own benefits and greed and established the oil. They didn't know about that. It's when the British went over there and discovered the oil. Then the British said, listen, we could make you rich men, rich sheiks. Okay? The British and the American under Rockefeller. Okay, that's another history. Okay, so continue.
Read book of Genesis, chapter 15, verse 5. And he brought him forth abroad and said, Lo, now toward heaven, and tell the stars, if thou be able to number them. And he said unto him, So shall thy seed be. And he believed in the Lord Most High, and he counted it to him for righteousness.
See, Abraham believed the Most High, what the Most High told him, and he counted it to him for righteousness. How many of us would have that type of faith and believe what the Most High said and act on it? Not many of us. Some of us will. But that's the type of faith that Abraham had. And that's the faith we have to come back to in these last days. Because if you don't have that faith, you're going to die. Plain and simple. I'm not sugarcoating it. Most High said, all the faithful shall die in unfaithfulness. Some people want to put their trust more in science and technology. I don't want to believe what that Bible said, but you put more trust in the white man's democracy, and you're going to die for that too. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm not sugarcoating nothing. If you don't have no faith in the Most High word, you're going to die, and you'll come back on the other side. You're coming back. Continue reading on.
Genesis 15, verse 7. And he said unto him, I, the Most High, am the Lord that brought thee out of Ur of the Chaldees.
Now, where was Ur of the Chaldees situated? Ur of the Chaldees was situated in the area of Iraq, in the southern part of Iraq. Okay? That's where Abraham came from and his father, from Ur of the Chaldees. So the Most High said, I'm taking you from that land and I'll bring you into another land. And that was also a civilization that was started by Nimrod.
That's right.
It was an entire black civilization. Nimrod started that civilization. Okay, up in Babylon, in Shinar, Ur of the Chaldees, all that area that you hear about there was started by Nimrod. Because the so-called, what you call Africans, known as the Hamites, the Kemetic people, that's what they started their civilization until they moved down to Egypt. Okay, continue. Read that verse again.
Yep. Genesis 15, verse 7. And he said unto him, I am the Lord Most High that brought thee out of Ur of the Chaldees to give thee this land to inherit it.
So the Most High was going to give Abraham the land of Canaan to inherit it, the land. Continue.
And he said, Lord Adonai Most High, whereby shall I know that I shall inherit
So
it?
he said, Most High, how do I know I'm going to inherit this land? Okay, continue.
And he said unto him, Take me an heifer of 3 years old.
Everybody know it's a heifer, right? Everybody know it's a heifer, right?
Yeah.
Right, a heifer is either a cow or a goat, all right? So the Most High said, go get you a heifer. And some people say, that heifer, look at that heifer. Look at that cow, all right? So the Most High said, go get you a cow. And this is what you're going to do, Abraham, to know what I'm saying to you is an agreement, a promise, and a covenant, and my oath that I'm going to swear and make with you. Continue.
And he said unto him, Take me an heifer of 3 years old, and a she-goat of 3 years old, and a ram of 3 years old, and a turtle dove, and a young pigeon.
So get these animals, and you're going to sacrifice these animals. You're going to get a turtle dove, a pigeon, a ram, a ram is a male goat, all right? All right? Or a sheep, all right? You're going to get a female cow, all right? You're going to get all these animals, and it has to be a specific age. It can't be too young. It can't be too old. It has to be precise, all right? Because when you kill an animal that's younger than 3 years old, what is it called? There's a name for it. You all know. And he likes it. He likes to cook it. Veal. 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 Y'all know. Y'all just weren't thinking about it. A veal. You're not supposed to eat them when they're that young. That's why the Most High said it has to be over a year to 3 years old. That way it won't be too tough. It won't be too tender while it's still being breastfed by its mother. See, the Most High have laws. Okay? The Most High is a highly intelligent power. Okay? He deals with laws. Okay? Ordinances and commandments. All right? Go ahead.
Genesis 15, verse 10. And he took unto him all these and divided them in the midst, and laid each piece one against another. But the birds divided he not. And when the fowls came down upon the carcasses, Abraham drove them away. And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram.
See, a deep sleep. The Most High was going to put a deep sleep upon Abraham. The Most High was going to take him way into the future. The Most High was going to take his mind and his spirit into the future to show him something horrible, a horror of a dark vision. Okay, that it blew Abraham's mind. Abraham was like, "Whoa!" Abraham was like, "Whoa!" It shook him up. Okay, so read that verse again.
The top of Genesis 15, verse 12. And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram, and lo, a horror of great darkness fell upon him.
See, a horror of great darkness fell upon him. And what the Most High was going to show Abraham was a great horror of darkness. Okay? Because was the slavery in Egypt as horrific as the slavery over here in the transatlantic? No. 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 I'm going to tell you right now. The transatlantic slavery was one of the most horrific things that ever happened to us. That's why the United Nations came out and said that slavery was one of the most horrific crimes against humanity.
That's right.
And what the United States said, no, we don't agree with that. We don't care. We're not signing nothing. Okay? So that's why they have to pay. In Egypt, we were not stripped of our identity. We were not stripped of our culture. Okay? Yes.
Can I read scripture?
Yeah, bring out loud, Brian.
I love this. Let me see. Where we at? We're reading out of
Daniel.
Chapter 9, verse 11. I'm good right here. Yea.
But just to enforce it more, like Brian. Yeah. Just,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore, the curse is poured out upon us.
That was a curse. That was a curse. Egypt wasn't a curse. Okay? Because remember, we walked into Egypt before we went into slavery. Okay? Continue.
And the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of the Most High, because we have sinned against him, and he has confirmed his words which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven has not been done as has been done upon Jerusalem.
See that? What has been done under the whole heaven has not been done to nobody else and to any other people but us.
That Holocaust.
One of the greatest crimes against humanity that destroyed that Holocaust. Okay, that's you want to talk about the Holocaust? That is the Holocaust right there. One of the greatest crimes against humanity, because nobody paid for the crime. We never received justice. We never received reparations. Nothing has been put in place. Nothing was done for what has been done to us. And in the islands of the Caribbean, in Haiti, Central America, South America, yes, and what? Right. 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 No apology from nobody. Even the king of King Charles said, no reparations, no reparations for Jamaica. The audacity, okay? Okay, and then what they did to Haiti, they had Haiti repay back for one day independence. Yeah, you devils got to pay, man. You devils got to pay. There's no forgiveness for that. Okay, the greatest crimes against humanity. Okay, and we want our reparations. I want my reparation, and we're gonna get it from the Most High. Any Negro saying, "Oh, we don't deserve it," just sit down, sit down. Okay, I'll take your share if you don't want it, idiot. Continue reading on.
The book of Genesis, chapter 15, verse 13. And he said unto Abram.
Now, this is the point here. This is when the time clock started with the 430 years. When the Most High made this covenant with Abraham, that's when that time clock started ticking. What time is it right now? It's 1:49, right? Let's say that's the time when the Most High made the covenant. That's the time the Most High started the time clock with Abraham. And guess what? He started that time clock with him in the springtime of what you call the Passover. That's why it says in Exodus 12, in the self same year that we came out of Egypt. What was he referring to? From the point that the Most High made the covenant with Abraham in the springtime of the Passover. When did we come out of Egypt? In the springtime of the Passover. 430 years before the Passover. That's when the Most High made the covenant with Abraham. That same season, that same time period in the spring of the Passover.
The real New Year, man.
The New Year's. Okay? So continue reading on.
Genesis 15, verse 13. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in the land that is not theirs.
Now stop right there now. Let me hit 2 points. Well, yeah, 2 points. Where is the land that we became strangers into? Were we strangers in Egypt that we knew nothing about Egypt? No. All of our forefathers went down to Egypt. Egypt was neighbor to us. Abraham went into Egypt. Isaac went into Egypt. Jacob went into Egypt. We knew about Egypt. Egypt wasn't strange to us. We knew about Egypt. The land that we became strangers in is over here on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean, or of the ocean, over here in the Western world, not over in Northeast Africa, Asian Africa. Okay? So read that verse again.
On the top of Genesis 15, verse 13. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs.
This is not our land over here.
That's right.
And even parts of Egypt was ours in the area that we were situated called Goshen. Okay, go ahead.
And shall serve them.
And shall serve them, and we're going to serve these people, all right? From the time that we got here up until this present day, we're still serving our enemies. No, brother, we free. Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. Don't make me laugh, man. Don't make me laugh, okay? You're still in a high-tech, modern-day, sophisticated slavery, okay? If you don't have no political power, you're still in slavery. If you don't have no economical power, you're still in slavery. If you don't have no military, you're still in slavery, okay? So you're still in slavery because you don't decide who becomes president or what the president. If the president said we're going to war, you have no power against that. Your vote can't even stop them from going to war if they want to go to war. Your vote can't even stop them from taxing you, from taking your money before you get your paycheck. Your vote can't stop that. So don't tell me your vote counts. You're not free. That's another form of slavery. That's a high-tech, sophisticated slavery. Yes, Judah.
Yes, I have 2 questions. One of them is not a question. One of them is like, if you do want to do something about
Come up closer to the mic and pick up.
if you do want to do something about the war, or if you don't want to pay your taxes, they might kill you.
They'll kill you. They're gonna kill you straight up. You're going to jail. You're gonna be blackballed. You're gonna be economically blackballed, and they're gonna kill you. So that means you're not free. You're
Good.
still a slave.
Good.
Yes,
The-
I
the
know.
oth-
Yes.
the-
Esau, if you don't pay your taxes, you're gonna put premium on your taxes.
And interest.
Interest.
And interest. Then if you don't pay, he's gonna give you a warning. Well, listen, we're trying to work with you now here. I'm giving you a chance now. He ain't giving you no chance. He's threatening you. Yeah. Or he sees your bank account. You can't take no money out, or you can't put no money in. So how is that free? That's not freedom. That's slavery. Yes,
And
dear,
if,
go ahead.
if you're late on your payments, he still will
Put
play.
interest.
Right. The other one, Ben, I wanted to ask is the stranger to the land.
Mhm.
Would this be the strange land?
This is the strange land.
Now, I dare to ask you this, Ben. Was not the so-called Indians here?
Right. They came later on.
Okay.
They came later
All
on.
right. Okay.
Remember, they wasn't here all the time. They came
All
after.
right.
They came before Columbus.
Okay.
So they had to come over here to discover it.
I got you.
Remember, everything was where before. All civilization was where in the past. There was three main civilization. Where was they located and situated? Right. And China, what you call the Far East.
Good.
Those were the three major civilizations. Africa, the so-called Middle East, okay, what you call Asia, West Asia, and the Far East.
Okay.
Those were the three major civilizations.
All right.
And this part over here was called what? The fourth part
Uh-huh.
that you read in Revelation, the fourth part of the earth,
Okay.
which was known as what? To most discoverers and people, the New World.
Right. Okay.
Even though they was coming over doing traveling and expedition,
Right.
but they were not
Planet or
planted like they were back in the ancient world over in the East and in Africa.
good.
Okay,
Don't
so
worry.
this was strange to us when we came here.
Right.
The language was strange,
Yeah.
the culture was strange, everything was strange to
Right.
us.
Okay. The
All
water.
right.
Ben, the water.
Okay, so finish reading that verse.
Read the book again from the top of Genesis 15, verse 13 from the top. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs,
Mhm.
and they shall serve them.
And they shall serve them, and we have served these people from the day we got out the slave ships. Continue.
And they shall afflict them 400 years.
See what it says? And they shall afflict them 400 years. That's what the Most High told Abraham. You're going to be afflicted 400 years. The 400 years that we have been afflicted is over here in this part of this world. From the time we came here up until this present day, we were not afflicted 400 years in Egypt. What proves that? When we went into Egypt, what did he do? What did we do? We walked into Egypt, right? And when we walked into Egypt, what happened? We were living free in Egypt, in the best of the land of Egypt called Goshen. Okay? So that knocks off your 400 years. And I'm going to show you the length of time that we were freed and in reign in rulership in Egypt under Joseph. Okay? It's all in here. It's 1, 2, 3. Okay? So now this started the time clock right here with Abraham. So this 400 years began over here in the Americas, in the islands of the Caribbean, Central and South America, not in ancient Egypt. Okay? That's the 400 years. Now, the 430 years also began the time clock with Abraham. The first 215 years began with Abraham in the land, Isaac, and Jacob in the land of Canaan. Okay? Then the other half of the other 215 years began when Jacob left the land of Canaan and went down into Egypt with his sons. That began the other half of the 215 years to give you a combined total of 430 years. Okay? So 215 years were spent in the land of Canaan between Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And the other 215 years were spent with Jacob when he left the land of Canaan and went down into Egypt until the Exodus. and 215 years was spent in Egypt altogether. 215 years. And I'm going to break it down. And out of the 215 years, only 80 years was hard bondage of slavery. That might sound hard for some people to believe. No, how could that be? But I'm going to show you. Okay? Now, let's lose that now. Let's go to Genesis now. Let's go to Genesis with Joseph now. Let's go to Genesis 40. But let me show you something. Let me before I go there, let's go to Genesis 37. I want to show you when Joseph went down to Egypt. Read Genesis 37 and 1.
Reading from the top of Genesis chapter 37, verse 1. And Jacob dwelt in the land wherein.
No, okay, yeah. Go ahead.
And Jacob dwelt in the land wherein his father was a stranger.
See, so Jacob now was still in the land of Canaan. Okay, Jacob was still in the land of Canaan. He didn't need to go into Egypt yet. But who was in Egypt at this particular time? Joseph. Okay, continue.
In the land of Canaan. These are the generations of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brethren. And the lad was with the sons of Bilhah and with the sons of Zilpah, his father's wives. And Joseph brought unto his father there an evil report. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children, because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a coat of many colors.
So what happened here now? What happened? What started to stir up right here now? When a father or a mother loves a particular son more than the other, what happens? Jealousy. Yes, envy and jealousy kicks in. But some parents might not say it, but it's a natural thing that you have more of a affection and a tightly knit spiritual thing with one of your children more than the others. That's a natural thing. You understand? Even though some parents might not want to show it or tell you that, but it's a natural thing. Okay? Especially if you have a son that looks like you, acts like you, and does everything like you. Oh my goodness. You go put your hand upon it as a blessing and say, of all your sons, that one looks like you, does everything you does, you're gonna have more of affection for him than the others. Yes, Zachariah.
You know how the parent, they love all the child the same, but it's just that the one that take more interest.
That's overall.
Tight neck overall.
Yes, but then they might not want to tell you that, but it's there. It's there, and you could sense it and see it too, as a child. Yes, Judah. Yeah.
They're gonna feel it and see it.
Yeah. You understand? And sometimes you have that inclination when it's your firstborn. All right. Sometimes it might be your younger, because the younger might be a strict embodiment of you. And some that you see in that one that you get, wow. You say to yourself, my goodness. You understand? Yeah.
The thing that I found out about that, the good qualities that he has already, you always want to make sure he be better than you.
And here and not to say that he developed it, it's already in him. He didn't have to perfect it or learn to do it. It was already in him. So when you see it, you're like, wow. You sometimes you're so amazed at it, like, wow. Like the old saying, apple doesn't fall far from the tree. That's the saying we get in the islands. Yes.
It's the same thing with Yahushua. Loved Jacob and hated
Esau. And just like Yahushua among his disciples, who was his favorite disciple?
Which one knows?
John. John was his favorite disciple. That's the one he loved. He laid in his bosom. He loved all the disciples, but John was his man. Yeah, Anwar. Yeah. All right. So it's like that. But Don't get me wrong. Don't take it as if well, Banyamyan being biased and saying, no, I'm just saying that's just the reality of things.
Yeah.
You understand? And it happens. And Jacob was a prime product of that. Because it tells you right here. Read it again.
Yeah, from top of Genesis.
No, not the top. Read the part where he said he loved Joseph.
Oh yeah. Read the book of Genesis.
The third verse. The third verse.
Chapter 37, verse 3. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children.
See what he said? Jacob loved Joseph more than all his children. Imagine that. So he showed that affection towards him because he saw something in Joseph that he loved. All right? Not that he didn't love his other sons. Okay, go ahead.
Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children because he was the son of his old age.
Mm-hmm.
And he made him a coat of many colors.
So he made him a special coat. Okay? Something that he didn't do for his other sons. All right? Go ahead.
And when his brethren saw that their father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him.
Woo! You see that? Woo! They like this Negro. This Negro. He's daddy's favorite. He's daddy's pet. You know, like when you use mommy's pet. Mommy love you more. That's why mommy didn't beat you like she beat us. I hate you. Mommy showed you more favor. Yeah, you get spoiled. So they're like, and that hatred developed right there. That hatred developed, that envy. They're like, you know what? You got to go. You got to go, buddy. You taking the show. You stealing the show. All right, go ahead.
Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a coat of many colors. And when his brethren saw that their father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him and could not speak peacefully unto him.
So they couldn't say nothing nice to him. Nothing nice to him. Everything had to be like sarcastic. Look at you. You think you're better than us, huh? Who you think you are? Huh? Look at you. Not because you're the youngest. Not because daddy loves you more than us. Look at you. Yeah, you got a special coat daddy gave you. Yeah, daddy gave me a special coat. So they were just like hitting all them like that. All the time, nonstop. Yes.
You know, right quick, Anna, to say, you know, some people, they don't be careful. And I'm even say for me, right? Because I was the middle child, right? And I always took interest being my mom's in the kitchen. I'm always, you know what I'm saying, cleaning. So now some people are like, want to hold back because I don't want them to get mad. No, don't do that. Keep doing, right? That's what I want to say.
All right, continue reading on.
We had a book of Genesis, chapter 37, verse 5. No, verse 6. No, 5. And Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told it his brethren. And they hated him yet the more.
See, so they hated him more because he told them a dream that was going to come to pass. He was telling them a dream about themselves, him and his father, and what was going to happen to them. Okay, continue.
And he said unto them, Hear, I pray you this dream which I have dreamed. For, behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and lo, my sheaf arose, and also stood upright, and behold, your sheaves stood round about, and made abstinence to my sheaf.
Obedience. So it bowed down, it showed reverence, it bowed itself. All right, go ahead.
And his brethren said unto him, Shall thou indeed reign over us?
So his brothers knew what the dream meant. They said, tell us now, you're going to be ruled over us? Yes, eventually he was. All right. And they saw that dream. They saw what it meant to. Okay. Continue.
Or shall thou indeed have dominion over us? And they hated him yet the more for his dream.
They hated him more for the dream. That's a lot of hatred, man. Okay. Go ahead.
And for his words. And he dreamed yet another dream and told it his brethren, and said, Behold, I have dreamed a dream more, and behold, the sun and the moon And the 11 stars made obeisance to
Obedience.
me. Obeisance to me.
He said, the sun, the moon, and the stars bow down and reverence me. When he said that, they're like, oh, no, this is it now. You gone too far now, Negro boy. This is it. But he was telling them something that was going to happen, a prophetic event. All right? Continue in the future. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 10. And he told it to his father and to his brethren. And his father rebuked him and said unto him, what is this dream that thou hast dreamed? Shall I and thy mother and thy brethren indeed come to bow down ourselves to thee to the earth?
So even Jacob understood the dream. And he said, wait a minute. What you trying to tell me now? That your father, your mother, and your brothers come and bow down to you? Yes. All right. Continue.
And his brethren envied him, but his father observed the saying. And his brethren went to feed their father's flock in Shechem.
So now they're in the land of Canaan. They're still in the land of Canaan. So at this time, Joseph, being the youngest, was 17 years old. Okay. So the Most High setting up the whole stage and the whole scenario of what is going to transpire. Okay, go ahead.
And Israel said unto Joseph, do not thy brethren feed the flock in Shechem? Come, and I will send thee unto them. And he said to him, here I am, him am I. And he said unto him, go, I pray thee, see whether it be well with thy brethren, and well with the flocks, and bring me word again. So he sent him out of the vow of Hebron, and he came to Shechem. And a certain man found him, and behold, he was wandering in the field. And the man asked him, saying, what seekest thou? And he said, I seek my brethren. Tell me, I pray thee, where they feed their flocks. And the man said, they are departed hence, for I heard them say, let us go to Dothan. And Joseph went after his brethren and found them in Dothan. And when he saw him afar off, even before he came near unto them, they conspired against him to slay him. And they said one to another, behold, this dreamer cometh. Come now, therefore, and let us slay him and cast him into some pit. And we will say, some vile beasts have devoured him, and we shall see what will become of his dreams. And Reuben heard it, and he delivered him out of their hands, and said, let us not kill him. And Reuben said unto him, shed no blood, but cast him into the pit that it is in the wilderness.
See what they did? They conspired to kill their brother. All right, because of envy and jealousy, and that's what envy and jealousy does. Okay, it builds up. That's like a secret sin in you until you manifest it. All right, it lingers in your mind, in your heart. Yes.
In fact, yeah, with that, right, Reuben is the oldest, so they listened to him. But the thing about it is jealousy and envy, you need malice. You need malice, which means hate for no reason.
Right.
That's so Reuben took the malice out of the equation. Otherwise, they'd have killed Joseph.
Kill him. Yeah.
They'd have killed him.
Right.
Those three spirits gotta exist.
Right. And that's what the scripture also speaks about that. About in Proverbs, the 6 sins that the Most High hate. Let me get that real quick and come back to this here real quick. Go to Proverbs. All right. Because when envy and jealousy builds up in a person, man, and they act on it, it's a bad thing. It's real dangerous, man. Go to Proverbs, I think it's 6 and yeah. Okay, Actually, start from the 16th verse, but let me see some. Start from the 14th verse, Proverbs 6 and 14.
Yeah, we're in the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verse 14. Frowardness is in the heart.
See? So everything stems where? In the heart, which is your mind. That's where everything starts first. When you want to kill a person, you plot it, you think about it first. How am I going to do this? So that's what they call today, the terms they call today what?
Premeditation.
Premeditation. You premeditated, you thought about it. Who did that? Who in our history did that?
Cain, I said Cain.
And who else? He was a well-famous person too.
Sent them to the soldiers.
King David. King David also did that too. He premeditatedly set up to kill Uriah. He drew up the scheme and the plot how to do it and told his captain how to do it too. And when you do it, come back to me and tell me the report of it. Yeah, he plotted the whole thing. He schemed it. Okay, so go ahead.
Frowardness in the heart, he devises mischief continually, and soweth discord.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore shall his calamity come suddenly. Suddenly shall he be broken without remedy.
Mm-hmm.
These 6 things doth the Lord Most High hate.
See, these 6 things does the Most High hate. The Most High hate these things. All right, go ahead.
Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him.
7 is our abomination, our complete. All right, continue.
A proud look.
Oh yeah, proud look like Trump. That's a proud, arrogant, evil, demonic, narcissistic, pathological liar. Okay, continue.
7 are abomination unto him. A proud look, a lying tongue,
Mm-hmm.
and hands that shed innocent blood.
Hands that shed innocent blood, that just kill people for no reason. Innocent people. Okay, go ahead.
And the heart that devises wicked imaginations.
See that? A heart that devises wicked imaginations. And that's what this country does. They have certain groups called think tanks, secret groups that set up these devices. Skulls and Bones, Tavistock, okay? The Council of Foreign Relations, the Bilderbergers, the Trilateral Commission. It's 1,000 of these organizations that's all they do. Scheme and set up traps, plan wars, and how to take over nations, steal the resources and their wealth. The IMF, okay? That's what they do. Continue.
Feet that be swift in running to mischief.
See? Feet that's swift to run to mischief. Something happened here, right on the block to see what's going on. Just to spread what? Gossip and false rumors. The Most High hates that. I was in some what they call mete, some mele. All right, go ahead.
A false witness that speaketh lies.
See, as false witness that speaketh lies, a false witness. You wasn't there, don't know nothing, but you giving your account. Lying. False witness. That's why a witness is very important, a true witness. False witness will cause somebody to be put to death. Just like in that rocks, in that those 7 young black men that was riding the train, the white woman came up and told the courts and the law enforcement, he raped me. And they didn't investigate to find it was true. She was a false witness, and they believe her. And they form a lynch mob, man, in the thousands. Okay? Then afterward, when she was guilty, she came forward and said, I made it up. And they didn't believe her. They still said, they're guilty. Just like Trump. Trump did that too. Okay? Remember in the Central Park sting, before they went to trial or any verdict or anything, Trump put out in an ad, I think it was in the Post or one of those daily news. Hang them hard, they're guilty. They're guilty. Back in those days where drag them out and hang them. And he had people believing that they were guilty. He didn't wait for no jury to bring out the evidence. He put an ad out in the paper. So that's why that devil Trump, don't tell me he's no God-fearing man. His behind is going in slavery. I'm telling you, going to put chains on his behind. Okay? He's an evil, no good bastard. Okay? Oh, Mr. Trump, he's such a good president. Who told you he's such a good president?
Yeah.
Okay? And remember that. He put out that ad in the paper. And when he did that, he had the majority of black people believe that those guys, those young men were guilty. People believe that, man, because they believe what a rich person said over what the poor is saying. You understand? Everybody always take the word of a rich person over a poor person. And the rich, because they got the power and they got the money and they have the influence, you will believe them too. Okay? And that's a bad thing. Yes, Judah.
Yes, he did kill them. I mean, though they're alive,
He killed them spiritually. Right. Because he put out the negative effect. He put out that evil report that they were guilty. And people believe it, man. Even people who were skeptical believed it. Then when the DNA came out that they were innocent, everybody was like, oh my gosh, I didn't believe that. But that's what a rich person does. Yes, Ainwa.
Even though they might release these days,
Their reputation is tarnished. It's just tarnished. And they spend all that time in jail. Spend about what? 15 years of their life in jail. Okay? Young. Okay? So that's why America, you're on the last leg of your kingdom. And you're going to celebrate in July, the 250th of your anniversary. That might be your last. That might be your last one. Okay? Because we have reached the 6,000-year marker from the creation to this day. We have come to that 6,000 year of the Most High giving man dominion over the earth. And when that comes in, that's the end. A new change, a new life, a new beginning is coming. Anything ending in zero is a new beginning. It's a cycle. Jacob, I was taught, Jacob said, you go come from 1 to 9. But when you get to 10, you start all over again because it's a cycle. Life is a cycle. And remember, everything that the Most High did with us was based on numbers. How many years did we wander in the wilderness? 40 years. And the Most High said he's going to mark it for our sins against him. He said, for every day that we messed up, it was going to be added for the years in the wilderness. 40 years in the wilderness. How many years did our kings rule for, the major kings? David, Solomon, and Saul. How many years did they rule? 40 years. Anything ended in number 0. How old was Moses when he brought us out of Egypt? 80. How long did Joseph rule in Egypt for? 80 years. Now, the so-called state of Israel, how many years have they been in existence since it was established in 1948? 78 years. 2 more years will make it 80 years. Everything is a trial run, ending in 0. How many years did we serve captivity in Babylon?
400.
No, not this Babylon, ancient Babylon. 70 years. And how many years did we serve captivity in this spiritual Egypt over here? 400 years. You see that? Anything ending at 0 is a completion of time with the Most High to bring about a new change. Yes, Anwar. Yeah.
250 years, they got a different spirit about
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, 250 years. Yeah. You understand? And they boasting about it, but they're leery and very fearful about it. You understand? Because they know when you read the history, most empires last for 250 years. That's the length of time for most empires to rule or kingdoms. After that, you're circling the drain, baby. You're going down the tube. It's over. Yes, Judah.
They said, oh, we still here. But is this the last?
Yeah, it is. You understand? Yes, sir.
They've also been very cruel to us.
Mm-hmm.
They never stop the cruelty.
No, never stop. Like the Most High said, it's an unending hatred, a perpetual hatred. Perpetual. It never ended. Now, for those out there that said the white man's not the Edomites, who fits that classification of having an endless, ongoing, perpetual hatred against us? Show me that black nation of people that had that perpetual hatred against us, and I'll keep my mouth shut. Because you got a lot of people saying, no, the white man is not the Edomites. So who are the Edomites that had that perpetual hatred against us that we have been seeing for the last 400 years that we've been here?
So quick to forgive.
Yeah. You understand? The Most High said they had a perpetual hatred towards us, man. A never-ending hatred.
Should I read
Verse 18.
Yes,
Chapter 6.
This answer was said because nobody else in the scriptures have ever said this point blank about Jacob.
Mhm.
This is Genesis chapter 27 and 41. And Esau hated Jacob
Mhm.
because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand.
Mhm.
Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
Right.
And nobody ever said
No,
that.
whoever said that? Not even the Egyptians ever said that. No African nation, not even the Arabs ever said that towards us. Okay? So it's only one people on the face of the earth that has that hatred towards us and do and say those things. Make laws, make legislation, put it in Congress, put it in the Constitution. Okay? Yes, yeah, Yashua Abba. Yes.
He had that hatred one time. I was walking down the block at night. The white man is on the other side. He just screamed at me, I hate you.
Yeah. Yeah. And no, ain't nobody else calls that derogatory term the way he does it. Nobody else does that. Okay, when he drink a little beer and he get a little drunk, that comes up, nigga. Goddamn nigga. He can't help saying that comes up, it slides off his lip with no problem. Okay? Yes.
Someone online says, Elder, Most High set a trap for Amalek. Not that long. They have to agree to 10-point terms from it.
Right, they're gonna have to agree with it because they're not gonna win that war in Iran. They're in a trap. The Most High has them in a trap, and they can't escape this trap. All right. Yes, Judah.
Yeah, I went to Hershey's Park, Pennsylvania,
Mm-hmm.
Friday. We went into a restaurant. I was with the consumers that I take care of, the clients.
Mm-hmm.
We went into a restaurant. Now, it's 5 clients.
Mm-hmm.
All of them have shade of brown. We walked in there. Now, the whole thing is where wealthy people live, that's their community. We walked in there, and the first voice I heard was the Edomite saying, "Oh no!"
You know what he was saying, right?
Yeah.
Here they come in here now.
Oh no!
Yeah, that's what he's saying. But they do it now in a way now that is not or derogatory or outright. They try to camouflage it or try to make it seem as if, well, I didn't mean it that way. But what he was saying, oh no, the niggas is coming here now.
Now, to make sure that they was heard, we was there for an hour and a half. And leaving, oh yeah, just to.
Yeah, they're leaving now.
But I gave it no response.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it no response. So whatever they put out went right back to them.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. It's in them. Okay. Now, you might have some that's not as hateful as that. You understand? Because I have come across certain white people that doesn't show that hatred like that. But it's in them. It's lying dormant. It's there. It's lying dormant. Okay. Let any historical records of facts comes out, that offends them, then you'll see a different story. Yes, Anwar.
More passive, more nice. When it comes down to the bottom line,
They're gonna side with they're gonna side with their own. Yes, you understand? That's the way it's gonna go down. Because to tell you the truth, I have met some white people. They never show me that hatred like some of the crackers do down south. You understand? I was like surprised they didn't show that, because I guess maybe some of them over the years have learned and seen certain things. You understand? That after a while that mentality doesn't work, and time and things are changing. You understand? Yes,
Yes, elder. It's a seed in their gene.
mhm.
It will skip maybe a couple generations.
Yes, then it comes back.
Because when they came here and lived amongst the Native American Indian, they didn't took over the same day, the same year.
Right.
It may be 10th century, they breed up with,
Yeah.
with them.
Mhm.
Then after 10th century, everybody come together. And
Yeah.
say,
Mhm.
the devil say
Yeah,
to
yeah,
me
yeah.
now.
Yeah, it's in them. It's innate. They're a seed of evil. Yeah.
Real quick, Ben, just like the consciousness of hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
When hip hop was teaching righteousness, because hip hop means healing, high infinite power, healing our people.
Mhm.
That's what it meant.
Right.
Now, when that was going on, KRS-One and all of them, the Clive Davises and all of those Amalekites, they said, wait a minute, they're teaching our children
Mhm.
what we did wrong.
Right.
They teach, we can't do that.
Mhm.
So that's why they entered gangster rap and all the other stuff to
Right.
defile
Right. The
that
mind.
word.
Right.
Hip hop was a good word
Right.
back in the day.
Right. Yes. All right. So go ahead. I don't want to go too far. I'm getting back to this here. Yes. Go ahead real quick.
Just an example. Susanna, she was accused and found guilty of adultery until Daniel stepped up and said she should receive a fair trial.
Right.
She was sentenced to death.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay. So let's finish and go back, because I want to bring up my class to show up, because people say, we're waiting for it, Banyamyan. We're waiting for it, Banyamyan. You're taking too long. All right. Okay. So finish reading the Proverbs real quick. Yeah.
Yep. The book of Proverbs, chapter 6, I left off at verse 18. A heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief,
Mm-hmm.
a false witness that speaketh lies,
Mm-hmm.
and he that soweth discord among brethren.
Yeah. The most I hate that when you sow discord amongst brethren. Go ahead.
My son, keep thy father's commandment and forsake not the law of thy mother.
Mm-hmm.
Bind them continually upon thine heart.
Okay, so go back to Genesis, okay, and then we're gonna go into, because what I'm showing you here, that Joseph was sold into Egypt at the age of 17. All right, so let's go back to that real quick. Genesis 37.
Yep.
Let me get to the part. I'm gonna skip that part where he was put in the pit and all that stuff, and show you where he was sold by the Ishmaelites and the Okay, so we left off. Okay, jump down here now. What verse you left off in?
I left off at 17.
You're in the 37th chapter. What verse you left off in?
I left off at 19.
Okay, 19.
Well, no, let me read 19.
Okay, no, skip that. Jump to 20 real quick. All right.
Okay, yeah. Read the book of Genesis chapter 37, verse 20. Come now, therefore, and let us slay him and cast him into the pit. And we will say, some evil beasts have devoured him.
So that's what they plan to do because of their envy and jealousy. They said, man, let's put him in the pit. Okay, let's put him in the pit. And then we'll say a wild beast kill him and devour his flesh. So they even had a backup plan now to tell their father when he was going to ask, where's Joseph? Because he knew Joseph went out in the field to look for his brothers. That's what younger brothers do. They go out to meet the older brothers. They're like, where's my older brothers? They're out in the field. So they had a backup plan to tell their father, listen, I don't know. We left him out there and something happened to him and a wild beast ate him, knowing that they put him in the pit. All right, go ahead.
Come now, therefore, and let us slay him and cast him into some pit. And we will say, some evil beasts have devoured him, and we shall see what will become of his dream.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you're making mockery now. Yeah, that's what's going to happen to his dream now, since you love to tell dreams now. Okay, go ahead.
And Reuben heard it, and he delivered him out of their hands.
So Reuben stepped up, which was the oldest of them all. Like, oh no, can't do that, man. See why sometimes why your older where the sister or brother plays a particular role, because they're supposed to be example. They're supposed to step in and set the order. So he stepped in and said, hold up, no, you can't do that, man. So if he wasn't there, they'd have did what they was supposed to do. But Reuben stepped up and said, no, hold up, you can't do that, man. All right, go ahead.
And Reuben heard it, and he delivered him out of their hands and said, let us not kill him. And Reuben said unto them, shed no blood, but cast him into this pit.
And that's even just as evil too. So he said, no, don't kill him, put him in the pit. Because that's all that hatred and envy that they had in them stored up. All right, go ahead.
This pit that is in the wilderness, and lay no hand upon him, that he might rid him out of their hands to deliver him to his father again.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to pass, when Joseph was come unto his brethren, that they stripped Joseph out of his coat.
So they took off his coat off of him. So they already planned and schemed all of this already. All right, go ahead.
And his coat of many colors that was on him. And they took him and cast him into a pit. And the pit was empty. There was no water in it. And they sat down to eat bread. And they lifted up their eyes and looked. And behold, a company of Ishmaelites came from Gilead with their camels bearing spicery and balm and myrrh, going to carry it down to Egypt.
So at that time, what were the Israelites? What was they known for at this particular time? Trade men. They were big in trading with their camels, going down to Egypt and different areas. They're carrying spices and different stuff down to Egypt. All right. All right, go ahead.
And Judah said unto his brethren, what profit is it if we lay our brother and conceal his blood? Come and let us sell him to the Ishmaelites.
So they said, let's sell our brother. That's see how the evil is increasing and multiplying as they go along. All right, go ahead.
And let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother and our flesh. And his brethren were content. Then there passed my Midianites.
Now they came Midianites. It's another group of family to the Ishmaelites. All right. They also live in the area, all that area of Yemen, Saudi Arabia, all that area was their homeland. Okay, go ahead.
Merchant men, and they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites.
So they sold him to the Ishmaelites. Okay, continue.
For 20 pieces of silver. And they brought Joseph into Egypt.
So they brought Joseph into Egypt at the age of 17. So he was a young man, a teenager in Egypt. Right? So Joseph went down to Egypt. He was sold down to Egypt now. Continue reading on.
And Reuben returned unto the pit. And behold, Joseph was not in the pit. And he rent his clothes. And he returned unto his brethren and said, the child is not, and I, whither shall I go? And they took Joseph's coat and kindled a kid of the goats and dipped the coat in the blood.
See the scheming again. Scheming again, plotting again. Why did they dip the coat in blood? An animal attacked and savagely tore him up.
Smell it, yep.
So you see how the scheming? See how your mind could scheme and plot off of wicked and evil intents? It just keep increasing as they go along. Layer upon layers of that sin, man. All right, continue.
And they went to me, and they sent the coat of many colors, and they brought it to their father and said, this have we found. Know now whether it be thy son's coat or no.
So how are they gonna say? Well, we don't know this. Your son's coat. You know is your brother's coat. trying to play on Jacob's mind now. Okay, trying to play and his emotions. Okay, go ahead.
And he knew it and said, It is my son's coat, and evil beasts have devoured him.
So right away, Jacob said, "Oh my gosh, an evil beast devoured my son," because he saw the blood in it, the way it's looking. That's the first thing came to his mind. An evil beast destroyed my son, and they knew that. Continue.
Joseph is without doubt rent in pieces. And Jacob rent his clothes and put sackcloth upon his loins and mourned for his son many days.
Mm-hmm.
And all his sons and all his daughters rose up to comfort him. But he refused to be comforted. And he said, For I will go down into the grave unto my son mourning. Thus his father wept for him.
Mm-hmm.
And the Midianites sold him into Egypt, unto Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh's, and captain of the guard.
Okay, now. So now, at this time period now, at this particular time period that Joseph was sold into Egypt at the age of 17, who was ruling Egypt? The Hyksos. The Hyksos were in rulership in Egypt at this particular time. Okay, it was not the true native Egyptians.
Right.
They were down in the upper part of Egypt, which is down south, near to Sudan and Nubia, around that area. So the Hyksos was ruling in Egypt. So Joseph went down to Egypt now at the age of 17, at a young age. Okay, now we know what transpired while he was in Egypt. He went to prison. He became like a trustworthy steward of the Pharaoh in Egypt. And then his wife accused Joseph of raping her. All right. And him being the king didn't do no inquisition. He just like, oh, my wife said you rape her. And he was put in jail. Now, this was all to build him up spiritually and to place him in position to become a ruler in Egypt. So he had to go through those trials. All right. And he knew it too. He knew it. All right. So the Pharaoh put him in jail. Then after he interpreted the dreams and he told the Pharaoh, blah, 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 boom, what's going to happen is going to be time of famine, time of plenty. It's going to be a time of famine. All right. So now let's go over here to Genesis 37 now. So I'm working up to show you. All right. Let's go over here now to Genesis 41. All right. So I'm skipping all the other part of him being in Egypt, going to jail and all that stuff. Let's go over here to Genesis 41. Okay, so let's start with a dream to show you the dream.
At the top.
We don't want to read the whole thing. I'll tell you what. Start from the 8th verse, 41 and 8.
Yep. The book of Genesis, chapter 41, verse 8. And it came to pass in the morning that his spirit was troubled, and he sent and called for all the magicians of Egypt.
So remember now, the Hyksos took on the Egyptian culture. They became pharaohs. They were doing everything the Egyptians were doing. So they mastered the Egyptian culture too. All right, continue.
And all the wise men thereof. And Pharaoh told them his dream, but there was none that could interpret them unto Pharaoh.
Mm-hmm. So now they could interpret the dream to Pharaoh. All right, go. Go ahead.
Then spake the chief butler unto Pharaoh, saying, I do remember my faults this day. Pharaoh was wroth with his servants, and put me inward in the captain of the guard's house, both me and the chief baker. And we dreamed a dream in one night. I and he, we dream each man according to the interpretation of his dream. And there was there with us a young man, a Hebrew servant to the captain of the guard. And we told him, and he interpreted to us our dreams. To each man according to his dream, he did interpret. And it came to pass, as he interpreted to us, so it was. Me he restored unto mine office, and him he hanged.
So he hanged one and he restored one. All right, continue.
Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the
So
dungeon.
they took him out of the dungeon. All right, continue.
And he shaved himself.
Okay, that was that thing of the Egyptians. They shave. They believe in that.
Right.
So the Hyksos took on that same culture too, shaving the beards. As a matter of fact, that's what the white man got it from the Egyptians, shaving your beard off. That wasn't our culture. Okay, the Most High never gave us that culture. Any Shemitic family, that was not their culture, shaving off your beard. Not only your beard, but your mustache. Okay, we didn't do that. Smooth shaven, no mustache, no beard. That thing looks horrible, man. And that's where Farrakhan and them get that crap from. A bow tie with walk out with a suit, smooth shaven. Yes. Yeah, the ponytail. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
What about this one in Pharaoh and Esau's army? As soon as you get there, you're going right there, shaving
Yeah.
everything, head, everything.
Because he got that from the Egyptians. That's where he got
Yes,
that
sir,
from.
yeah.
That's where the Greeks and the Romans got that from, the Egyptians. None of the Shemitic nations throughout the face of the earth did that customs. Maybe some of the Africans did, but not all the Africans did. The Canaanites didn't do it. They kept their beards. Yes.
Yeah, just to fast forward a little bit, I understand later on in time, they used to shave us bald headed and for obedience.
Yeah.
Right?
To make mockery, to humiliate us. Yes. Understand? Shave and make you clean. Talking about you got lice and stuff in your beard and all kind of stuff. No, it wasn't because it was to make mockery of us, to humiliate us. Clean your head, clean bald, your beard, everything. Okay, continue.
You read the book of Genesis chapter 41, verse 16. No, verse 15. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I have dreamed a dream, and there's none that I dreamt. No, verse 16. Genesis 41, verse 16. And Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, It is not in me. Most high power shall give Pharaoh an answer of peace. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, in my dream, behold, I stood upon the bank of the river.
So now Joseph is going to interpret the dream to him. Okay. Right?
And
so hold up.
Pom.
So this time he wasn't ruling in Egypt yet. He didn't start to rule yet.
Right. Just was a prisoner
Coming up from the dungeon. He's getting ready to be dusted up, cleaning off, making preparation for him. Okay, continue.
And behold, there came up out of the river 7 kinds, fat-fleshed and well-favored, and they fed in a meadow. And behold, 7 other kinds came up after them, poor and very ill-favored, and lean flesh, such as I never saw in all the land of Egypt for badness.
Mm-hmm.
And the lean and the ill-favored kind did eat up the first 7 fat kinds.
Mm-hmm.
And when they had eaten them up, it could not be known that they had eaten them, but they were still ill-favored as at the beginning. So I woke, and I saw in my dream, and behold, 7 ears came up, and 1 stalk, full and good.
So this he's showing you the time of plenty. It's going to be in abundance. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
And behold, 7 ears, withered thin, and blasted with the east wind, sprung up after them.
So that's the time of the famine. So he saw that. He saw the time of the plenteous, and he saw the time of the famine. All right. Go ahead.
And the thin ears devoured the 7 good ears. And I told this unto the magicians, but there was none that could declare it to me. And Joseph said unto Pharaoh, the dream of Pharaoh is one. God Most High have showed Pharaoh what he is about to do. The 7 good kind are 7 years, and the 7 good years are 7 years. The dream is one, and the 7 thin and ill-favored kind that came up after them are 7 years. And the 7 empty ears blasted with the east wind shall be 7 years of famine.
Mm-hmm.
This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. What Most High power is about to do, he showeth unto Pharaoh.
Mm-hmm.
Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt.
All the land of Egypt. Now remember, Egypt was just like America today. Wealth, riches, fame, power. Okay? That's why everybody went down to Egypt. Okay? Read on.
And there shall rise after them 7 years of famine, and all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt. And the famine shall consume the land, and the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine following, for it shall be very grievous. And for that the dream was doubled unto Pharaoh twice. It is because the thing is established by the Most High power, and the Most High will shortly bring it to pass.
He said, this is confirmed by the Most High and it will come to pass. Okay, continue.
Now therefore let Pharaoh look out a man discreet and wise, and set him over the land of Egypt.
Now, over the land of Egypt. Now, let's get the understanding now. We established the Hyksos was ruling. Was the Hyksos ruling over all of Egypt or a certain part of Egypt? A certain part. What part of Egypt were the Hyksos ruling in? In the lower part of Egypt, which we call in the northern part today. Okay? The part that they was ruling, it was called Avaris. That's what they called it. It's the same era as in Goshen. Okay? Now, the other Egyptians, now, that's the most fertile area of the land, the best land. Okay? Now, the other part, which was in Upper Egypt, you had the true native Egyptians that was ruling. Remember, Egypt is a big place now. It's not a small place. Lower Egypt alone by itself is almost the size of Massachusetts. All right? So, and Egypt alone is about 300 and maybe 360,000 square miles. That's bigger than Texas, the state of Texas. All right? So now the Hyksos are ruling in the part of Lower Egypt. Okay, go ahead.
In the book of Genesis, chapter 41, verse
33, Zechariah. Yeah.
33, yeah. Now therefore let Pharaoh look out. Therefore let Pharaoh look out a man discreet and wise, and set him over the land of Egypt.
Mhm.
Let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint officers over the land, and take up the 5th part of the land of Egypt in the 7 plenteous years,
Mhm.
and let them gather all the food of those good years that come, and lay up corn under the hand of Pharaoh, and let them keep food in the cities. And
So what were the cities called? What were the cities called where they store those food? They call them today a name here in America. Storehouses, silos. Silos. Yeah, where you store your grain, your crops, and stuff like that. Those are kept for reserve in the time of shortage of food, just like you do with oil. They have a storage of oil stored all over, just in case become an emergency shortage. All right. So they got that from the idea of what Joseph was doing in Egypt, storing up in the storehouses. You store up in the time of plenty. Right? In the time of plenty, you keep storing up, you keep saving up, just in case the time of none come, of nothing you have. All right. So that's why in the time of plenty, sometimes the prices are what?
Low. Well, no. Well, yeah.
The lower.
It's lower.
No,
It's lower. Then when it become scarce, what happened?
go up.
The price shoots up.
That's
All right, because you have an abundance, so you could sell it cheap. All right. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
out of Genesis 41, verse 35. And let them gather all the food of those good years that come, and lay up corn under the hand of Pharaoh, and let them keep good food. Let them keep food in the cities, and that food shall be for store to the land against the 7 years of famine.
See, that's going to be the reserve for the time of the famine. Those food that's being stored up in the storehouse or in the silos. All right, continue.
Which shall be in the land of Egypt, that the land perish not through the famine. And the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh, and in the eyes of all his servants. And Pharaoh said unto his servants, can we find such a one as this is, a man in whom the Spirit of the Most High is?
And that he had to acknowledge, like, whoa, the Spirit of the Most High is in Joseph, man. And when people see that, man, they excel you. They put you in a position because they know what you're talking about. They know what you know, and they see it. They said, man, we got to put you in position, man. You the man. All right? Yes.
And Joseph, he didn't take no credit.
No, he was humble.
Verse 33 killed him.
He was humble. Joseph was humble. Joseph said, no, that's the Most High. Yes, and he was humble, and he knew that. And see, and that's what Jacob saw in Joseph. He saw that spirit in him. You understand? Jacob saw, man, Father Jacob was spiritual too. He saw that in Joseph way before he became a man. You understand? And then the Pharaoh saw that too when he like, man, oh, you can't be denied, man. All right, continue reading now. Go ahead.
It's first Genesis 41,
And
verse
39.
37.
39.
39?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, 39. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, for as much as the Most High have showed thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art.
And Joseph was wise. He was wise. He was humble. He feared the Most High. Okay, go ahead.
And Pharaoh said unto Joseph,
You read
what?
that.
No, I read that in the part,
You're in
verse
40 now. You're in 40, Zechariah. Stick
40,
with
yeah.
William, Zechariah.
Thou shalt be over my house.
See now what Pharaoh said? You're going to be over my house. Right away, he said, no, yo, you can't be denied. Go ahead.
And according unto thy word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than thou.
So he told Joseph, only me is going to be greater than you. I'll be greater than you, but you're going to be second in command over my kingdom. Yes, Judah.
When he said you will be over my house, is he saying you will be over my kingdom?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, his kingdom. Everything. And he's going to explain it to him. He's going to tell him right here as we read on. Go ahead. Remember, the word Pharaoh means it means something pertaining to house. Pharaoh. The word Pharaoh, the term Pharaoh. All right. Go ahead.
Verse 41. Genesis 41:41. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, see, I have set thee over all the land of Egypt.
See, now he said, I have set you over all the land of Egypt, not all the entire lands. Because remember, who was ruling in Upper Egypt? You had the native Egyptian that was ruling in Upper Egypt. But Joseph and the Hyksos were in Lower Egypt. Okay? Then you had the Middle Kingdom. Okay? So he was ruling over the complete area of Lower Egypt, which is the size, almost the size of the state of Massachusetts. And when you look up the square miles of Massachusetts, of all the New England states, New York is the largest, then Massachusetts.
You throw that.
Okay? New York is 49,000 square miles, and Massachusetts is 10,000 square miles. And the smallest New England state is where? Rhode Island. Okay. Okay. Go ahead. Read on.
So, verse
42.
yeah,
42.
Yep. Remember the book of Genesis, chapter 41, verse 42. And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand and put it upon Joseph's hand, and arrayed him in vestes of fine linen.
And that fine linen is called what in Egypt? Nope.
Rope, no.
There's a name for it. They call it the Egyptian cotton. Yeah, remember Egypt was famous for their cotton and their white linen that came from the flax weed. All right. Everybody say you got Egyptian cotton, you got the best cotton. You understand? So Egypt produced that flax from the reeds, all right, from the papyrus and from the flax. They produced those material, that type of linen. Because remember, Egypt is hot. You can't wear wool in Egypt. You gotta wear linen or cotton to keep you cool. You understand? All right, go ahead.
And put a gold chain about his neck.
And he put a gold chain on his neck. All right, a solid pure gold chain.
So it was in the genes while we were gold.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
And he made him to ride in the second chariot.
See, he made him to ride in his second chariot, not the first chariot, but Pharaoh's second chariot, because the first chariot belongs to him. But the second one is yours. The second and any other chariot in Egypt is yours. All right, go ahead.
And he made him to ride in the second chariot, which he had.
Because they brought those chariots into Egypt, the Hyksos. They brought the most advanced chariots and weapons into Egypt at that particular time. That's how they was able to defeat the Egyptian, when they brought those sophisticated chariots and weapons into Egypt. Egypt never saw that before. That blew Egypt away to see how the sophistication, the chariots that they had, and the weapons. Egypt had chariots, but not the way the Hyksos had their chariots. It was motorized, man. It was bad. It was high tech. Yeah. Okay, they brought some advanced weapons too, man. Okay, go ahead.
And they cried before him, bow the knee. And he made him ruler over all the land of Egypt.
See, this is the point where he's gonna make Jacob ruler over all of the land of Egypt. Of Joseph. All right. Continue reading on.
And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without thee shall no man lift up his hand or foot in all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zaphath-Panah. And he gave him to wife Asna, a daughter of Potiphar, priest of On. And Joseph went out over all the land of Egypt. And Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, the king of Egypt.
See how old he was? 30 years old. That's when he began to rule, at the age of 30. And he held that position as a vizier, or what you call a governor in Egypt, until he died. Until he died. Okay? So continue reading on.
And Joseph went out from the presence of Pharaoh and went throughout all the land of Egypt. And in the 7 plenteous years, the earth brought forth by handfuls.
See, so he was ruling, right? Now his family didn't come into Egypt yet. Okay, but when they came into Egypt when he was at the age of 39. They came 9 years after. 9 years after the years of plenty. They came 2 years into the famine. Because remember, he said 7 years of plenty and 7 years of famine. So he was already ruling 9 years already in Egypt at that particular time when his father came into Egypt. So at this time, they did not come to Egypt yet. So he was already ruling from that point. All right, continue.
And he gathered up all the food of the 7 years, which were in the land of Egypt, and laid up the food in the cities, the food of the field, which was round about every city laid he up in the same. And Joseph gathered corn as the sand of the sea, very much, until he left numbering, for it was without number. And unto Joseph were born 2 sons before the years of famine came.
See, and his sons were born 2 years before the famine came. All right, continue.
Which Asna, the daughter of Pethphera, priest of On, bare unto him. And Joseph called the name of the firstborn Manasseh. For the Most High Power, said he, have made me forget all my toil and all my father's house. And the name of the second called he Ephraim. For the Most High Power have caused me to be fruitful in the land of my affliction. And the 7 years of plentiness that was in the land of Egypt were ended.
So it ended now. That 7 years of plenty ended. Okay, continue.
And the 7 years of dearth began to come, according to Joseph had said. And the dearth was in all lands, but in all the land of Egypt there was bread.
There was plenty food in Egypt. There was a famine in Canaan too. So the Most High set up the whole scenario now. He put Joseph in position, and then Jacob's going to tell his sons, yo, go into Egypt for food, man. Go into Egypt for food because we ain't got no food here. But the Most High set up the whole thing to put Joseph in position for us. All right, continue.
And when all the land of Egypt was famished, the people cried to Pharaoh for bread. And Pharaoh said unto all the Egyptians, go unto Joseph. What he said to you, do.
He said, go to Joseph. He's the man. You go talk to Joseph. I put him in charge to run things here. Go ahead.
And the famine was over all the face of the earth. And Joseph opened all the storehouses and so unto the Egyptians. And the famine waxed sore in the land of Egypt. And all countries came into Egypt.
All the countries that was around the surrounding area came into Egypt for food. All right, go ahead.
And all the countries came into Egypt to Joseph for to buy corn, because that the famine was so sore in all lands.
Okay, read 42 now.
Yeah, verse 42 out of Genesis 42. Now when Joseph saw that there was corn in Egypt, Jacob said unto his sons, why do ye look one upon another?
So Jacob said, why are you here standing looking at me, looking at your brother? Go find food. Don't look at me. Y'all old enough now. Y'all not no little boys. Y'all grown big men now. Okay, go ahead.
And he said, behold, I have heard that there is corn in Egypt. Get you down thither and buy for us from thence, that we may live and not die. And Joseph's 10 brethren went down to buy corn in Egypt. But Benjamin, Joseph's brother, Jacob sent not with his brethren, for he said, lest peradventure mischief before him.
He said, I don't want what happened to Joseph happen to Benjamin. Yeah, yes. Yeah. A lot of wealth. So Joseph was in position for us when we came into Egypt. The Most High put him in a position for us when we come into Egypt. We don't have to worry. Everything was being provided for us under Joseph's administration. That canceled out the bondage. Okay? Now hold that right here. Don't forget what verse you're in, Zach.
Yes,
You in the fifth, going to the fifth verse now.
Yes, sir.
Go to Genesis 50 now. Genesis 50, 50, 50.
Yep, 50.
All right, you read Genesis 50, and you're gonna read here. Read the 22nd verse.
Read the book of Genesis, chapter 50, verse 2.
22.
Read the book of Genesis, chapter 50, verse 22. And Joseph dwelt in Egypt, he and his father's house. And Joseph lived 110 years.
How long did he live?
110 years.
So how long did he rule for? 80 years. 30 plus 80 is 110 years old. That a duration of the 110 years that he lived, he was still ruling. Because when you have a position like in Egypt, you rule until your death. So he ruled for 80 years in Egypt. Okay? Now I'm going to show you two time period in that date. Right? Now, when he ruled, from the time that he started to rule, it gives you 80 years of him ruling. When his father came down to Egypt, he was in the 9th year of his rule. So that gave him 71 years from the time that Jacob came to Egypt. He started at 30, which will give you 80 years altogether. But when Jacob went down to Egypt, that began the other half of the 215 years. All right? So that's 71 years that he was ruling when his father came into Egypt. All right? 71 years. Okay? Now, how old was Moses when he took us out of Egypt? 80 years. 71 plus 80 is how much? 151. 151, right? Now, 215 years minus 151 is how much? 215 years minus 151 is how much? You subtracting. 215 minus 151 is how much? Nobody doing the math? 215 minus 151. 64 years, right? That's the gap from the death of Joseph to the birth of Moses. 64 years. Because we only spent 215 years in Egypt altogether. And out of the 215 years, only 80 years of it was slavery. All right, I'm going to show you in the scriptures too. All right, because the slavery started after Joseph died, and the slavery started when Moses was born. Okay, read Genesis 22. We read that, right?
Reading out the book of Genesis, chapter 50, verse 22. And Joseph dwelt in Egypt, he and his father's house. And Joseph lived 110 years.
Mm-hmm.
And Joseph saw Ephraim's children of the 3rd generation. The children also of Mashir, the son of Manasseh, were brought up upon Joseph's knees.
Mm-hmm.
And Joseph said unto his brethren, I die, and the Most High will surely visit you, and bring you out of this land unto the land which he sware to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. Verse 25, and Joseph took an oath of the children of Israel, saying, the Most High will surely visit you, and ye shall carry up my bones from hence. So Joseph died, being 110 years old, and they embalmed him, and he was put in a coffin in Egypt.
All right. So you see, the length of Joseph's rule in Egypt was 80 years. And within that lifetime that Joseph lived, for that 80 years, there wasn't no slavery in Egypt. No slavery. Now, when did the slavery happen? Let's go here to Exodus 1. But let's go to the part when Jacob came to Egypt. Let's go back to Genesis. Let's go back here to Genesis 42. Genesis 42, and start from the fifth verse.
The book of Genesis, chapter 42, verse 5. And the sons of Israel came to buy corn among those that came, for the famine was in the land of Canaan.
Mm-hmm.
And Joseph was the governor over the land. And he it was that sold to all the people of the land. And Joseph's brethren came and bowed down themselves before him with their faces to the earth.
Mhm.
And Joseph saw his brethren, and he knew them.
Okay, now let's skip all of that now, and let's go and show the part when Jacob came to Egypt. When Jacob came to Egypt, that started the other half of the 215 years. Okay, so go over here now. Over here to read Genesis 45 and 10. Read Genesis 45 and 10 real quick.
Yeah, we're in the book of Genesis, chapter 45, verse 10.
Mhm.
And thou shalt dwell in the land of Goshen.
See, that's where we dwell, the land of Goshen, which is in the what you call the Nile Delta Valley, known as Lower Egypt. All right, go ahead.
And thou shalt be near unto me, thou and thy children, and thy children's children, and thy flocks, and thy herds, and all that thou hast.
Okay, so now read Genesis 45. Start from the first verse.
The book of Genesis, chapter 45, verse 1. Then Joseph could not refrain himself before all them that stood by him. And he cried, Cause every man to go out from me. And there stood no man with him, while Joseph made himself known unto his brethren.
So now this is the point he's going to make himself known to his brethren, to his brothers. All right, but now his father didn't come into Egypt yet. Jacob didn't come into Egypt yet. Okay, continue.
And he wept aloud, and the Egyptians and the house of Pharaoh heard. And Joseph said unto his brethren, I am Joseph. Doth my father yet live?
So he said, my father live, is he alive? All right, go ahead.
And his brethren could not answer him, for they were troubled at his presence.
They were scared now. They were scared because they knew what they did to him now. And they realized now, he's going to pay us back now. It's payback time. Shaking in the boots, man. But to show you, Joseph didn't have the type of mindset like that. All right, go ahead.
And Joseph said unto his brethren, Come near to me, I pray you. And they came near. And he said, I am Joseph, your brother, whom ye sold into Egypt.
Whom you sold into Egypt. He had to rub it in their faces to let them know what they did was wrong. All right, you sold me into Egypt. But guess what? I'm not going to hold it against you. That's love, man. That is love, man. That's some high level of love, man, for him not to want retribution and justice against what they did to him, man. Yes, Judah.
It's amazing how he was so wise that he seen if it was not done, he wouldn't have been doing the Most High will.
It wouldn't have been possible.
Right.
You understand? And he knew that. He saw that because he was a visionist.
Right.
Yes, that's why Jacob loved him. Right. Jacob saw that spirit in him. I mean, that spirit couldn't be held back. That spirit was shining. You understand? All right. Go ahead, read on. Go ahead.
We said verse right here. We're in the book of Genesis, chapter 45
and 5.
Verse 5. Now therefore be not grieved, nor angry with yourselves, that ye sold me hither. For the Most High did send me before you to preserve life.
See what he said? It was the Most High that did this. This was the Most High's plan. So I could preserve life for all of us in Egypt. All right, go ahead.
For these 2 years hath the famine been in the land, and yet there are 5 years, in the which there shall neither be earing nor harvest.
You got 5 more years to go. Okay, they're in the 2nd year of the famine. All right, so that's the 9th year. 7 years went by. Now this is the 2nd year. Now the 9th year of his rule in Egypt. This is the 9th year of his rulership in Egypt. And this is the point where Jacob is going to come down to Egypt. All right. Continue reading on.
And the Most High sent me before you to preserve you a posterity in the earth, and to save your lives by a great deliverance. So now it was not you that sent me hither, but the Most High Power. And he have made me a father to Pharaoh, and the Lord Adawan of all his house, and a ruler throughout all the land of Egypt.
And a ruler in the land of Egypt. Right? Yeah.
Then I like the father, I say, I made him a father.
A father. He was like a father to Pharaoh. Yeah. You understand? Yeah. Go ahead.
Haste ye, Genesis 45, verse 9. Haste ye and go up to my father, and say unto him, Thus saith thy son Joseph, Most High have made me Lord Adawan of all Egypt. Come down unto me, tarry not.
He said, go back into the Canaan and tell your father, I'm the man in Egypt. Tell him I'm the man in Egypt. All right. Now go over here now. Read the 46th chapter and start from the first verse.
Read out the book of Genesis, chapter 46, verse 1. And Israel took his journey with all that he had, and came to Beersheba, and offered sacrifices unto the Most High Power of his father Isaac. And the Most High spake unto Israel in the visions of the night, and said, Jacob, Jacob. And he said, Here am I. And he said, I am the Most High Power, the God of thy father. Fear not to go down into Egypt.
So now he's getting ready to go down to Egypt now. This is going to begin the other half of the 215 years. From that point to the Exodus, it's 215 years. All right, go ahead.
For I will there make of thee a great nation. I will go down with thee into Egypt, and I will also surely bring thee up again. And Joseph shall put his hand upon thy eyes.
So he's going to live to see the length of that Joseph lived. Because Jacob was 130 years when he went into Egypt, and he lived to be 147 years. So he lived 17 years in the land of Egypt without any slavery. Continue.
And Jacob rose up from Beersheba, and the sons of Israel carried Jacob their father, and their little ones, and their wives, in the wagons which Pharaoh had sent to carry him. And they took their cattle, and the goods, and their goods, which they had gotten in the land of Canaan, and came into Egypt, Jacob and all his seed with him.
See now, this begins the second half of the 215 years. All right, continue.
His sons and his sons' sons with him, his daughters and his sons' daughters, and all his seed brought he with him into Egypt. And these are the names of the children of Israel.
Okay, so we're gonna read. So we know it's all okay. Go over here and read read the 27th verse.
The book of Genesis, chapter 46, verse 27. And the sons of Joseph, which were born him in Egypt, were 2 souls. All the souls of the house of Jacob, which came into Egypt, were 70. And he sent Judah before him unto Joseph, to direct his face unto Goshen.
So where he was going? Into the land of Goshen. Okay, go ahead.
And they came into the land of Goshen.
Okay, now they came into the land of Goshen now. All right. And now I want to show you something right here. Okay, continue reading now, because Joseph is going to tell his brethren now, when you go into Egypt, when you go into Egypt and you come to the land of Goshen, this is what you're going to tell the Pharaoh, what your occupation is. Tell him that you're shepherds, and he's going to put you in the best land of Egypt. Now, if these were native Egyptians, they would not put them in the land of Goshen, because it's going to explain and tell you why. the true Egyptians didn't like shepherds. But the Hyksos were shepherds. They were known as shepherd kings. So they put them in the same land that they were into. All right? So let's continue reading on.
By the book of Genesis, chapter 47.
Wow. After 3. Wow.
No, 20, let me see.
Wow. It's
28.
after 3. LaBrian.
28.
Wow. I'm after pass. It's after 3 here now. Wow. You know what? You still got time? Okay. All right. Go ahead. Okay.
Yeah, read the book of Genesis, chapter 46, verse 28. And he sent Judah before him unto Joseph.
No, you read 29?
No, it was 29. Genesis chapter 46, verse 29.
Yeah.
And Joseph made ready his chariot and went up to meet Israel his father to Goshen and presented himself unto him. And he fell on his neck and wept on his neck a good while. And Israel said unto Joseph, now let me die, since I have seen thy face, because thou art yet alive. And Joseph said unto his brethren and unto his father's house, I will go up and show Pharaoh, and say unto him, my brethren, my father's house, which were in the land of Canaan, are come unto me. And the men are shepherds.
So he said, and the men are shepherds. What was the Hyksos' name? They were known as shepherd kings. But to the Egyptian, they were known as foreign rulers of the land.
Right.
Okay, continue.
For their trade have been to feed cattle, and they have brought their flocks and their herds and all that they have. And it shall come to pass when Pharaoh shall call you.
See what he said? Now he's instructing them now. When Pharaoh call you, and he's going to ask you a particular question, this is what you're going to tell Pharaoh. Okay, go ahead.
And shall say, what is your occupation?
See, you're going to ask him, what is your occupation? All right, go ahead.
That you shall say, thy servants' trade have been about cattle from our youth even until now, both we and also your fathers, that ye may dwell in the land of Goshen. For every shepherd is an abomination unto the Egyptians.
See, to the native true Egyptian, a shepherd was an abomination, and they didn't associate with you. You were looked down and you were scorned. But if these were native Egyptians, why would they put them in the land of Goshen? So you see, sometimes in the scriptures, you have to search other, you have to get other records and historical books, because these were the Hyksos in the land at this particular time. This was not the true native Egyptians that was down in Upper Egypt. These were the Hyksos that was ruling in that particular dynasty, which was the 15 and 16 dynasty of Egypt. All right? Yes, Judah.
You know, man, when you speak on that, it sort of like puts me in the frame of mind, like, you know how when other people come from other places, they place them in the neighborhood where their people
Where they're associated with, right?
Yeah, you know,
right.
Instead of placing them with
somebody else, because that way you can relate.
Right.
You can relate to the situation around you just surrounded.
Or you might have us, you know, like if you take Jake and you put him with someone else, you might be able to wake them people up. So they put, you know,
right. Just like if I'm from the island, right? Let's say I come from the islands. I'm not going to go and live where white people live. I'm going to live where people from the islands live. It's a natural thing, because I can relate. I can relate to them. They can relate to me. We eat the same food. We do almost the same thing. I'm not going to go in a white neighborhood that they'll look at me like, don't know what I'm about. It's a natural thing, right? Just like when Jake come from down south, they come to where people that they know are. You understand? And that's what most people from the south did when they came to the north. They came to the area where they're familiar. let's say I'm a Jamaican and I come from Jamaica. More naturally, I'm gonna go amongst where Jamaicans are. You understand? Yeah, but even today now, most Caribbeans just go where all Caribbeans are. It doesn't matter. You understand? But everybody makes a distinction when it really comes down to it. You understand? But I have learned that whether we come from any island in the Caribbean, we're all the same people. We just drop off in different islands. You understand? I could go anywhere in any island in the Caribbean and blend in for right in line. And I come and say, you're not from Grenada. You're not from Grenada. I could go and blend in with Grenada for writing anywhere, Jamaica, Trinidad, anywhere, St. Kitts, Nevis, any island, because we all got something alike that's similar. Even certain things might be a little slight different, but when it comes down to it, we're all the same. The fruits, everything is the same in the island.
Was colonized and oppressed.
You're oppressed by the same enemy, the same oppressor. Same oppressor. Some foods might be a slight different. Like, for instance, Jamaica will say sweet sap. Where I'm from, we call it a sugar apple. But as soon as you see, you know what it is. Right? In Trinidad, it's called a sugar apple too, right? Yeah, in Barbados too, right? Sugar apple. Only Jamaica call it sweet sap. All right? And certain foods, like our kalaloo. Some places they make it from what? The dasheen leaf, right? We make ours from a stem of plant. We pick them smaller. We pick them and we put them. We call it kalaloo. All right. So everybody call it kalaloo. You know, it's all the Caribbean I call it kalaloo. All right, but it's made from different bushes. Most places it's made from the dasheen leaf. In Barbados too, right? Where they made it from? The kalaloo. In Trinidad, it's made from the dasheen leaf too, right? From the dasheen bush. In Grenada, St. Vincent. In Jamaica, with the kalaloo, it's made from what?
It just grew as a green.
From the green, right?
Green plant.
You got a plant, right? See, y'all don't take yours from the dasheen. No, but most places take from the dasheen leaf.
Leaf and cut it up.
Yeah, you understand? Yeah. Yeah, it's like color green. It's the same thing. Yeah. Yeah, and all Judah know color green. It's the same thing. Color greens. You understand? Yeah, color greens or what's the other one?
Turnip greens?
Mustard greens. Yeah, turnip greens. Yeah.
Mustard greens too.
Yeah.
Right.
You understand? Yep. All right. So go ahead.
Now I finished which one? All of 46.
Okay, so we see that to the Egyptians, a shepherd was an abomination. So the Hyksos placed us in the same land that they were in because the Hyksos were not native Egyptians. They were shepherds just like we were. All right. Now, when you go over here now, read 47. Read 47 now. Yeah.
Was we as shepherds Normans? I mean, when I say Normans, like, you know, we traveled to one place.
We weren't so much nomads because we had a stationary land, which was Canaan. It's only because of the famine we went into Egypt. But our occupation was taking care of sheep, cattle, goats, and stuff like that. That was Jacob's occupation, which he passed on to his sons. All right. So when we went to Egypt, we still carry on the same occupation as shepherds. Same trade. Abraham, Isaac, they were shepherds. Even Moses was a shepherd until he became a general. Remember when he went to Midian, what was he doing? Taking care of the sheep and goats of Jethro. Yeah, the care of the flocks. All right. The Most High was grooming him to be a leader over us. All right. So read 47:1.
Yeah. In the book of Genesis, chapter 47, verse 1. Then Joseph came and told Pharaoh and said, my father and my brethren and their flocks and their herds and all that they have are come out of the land of Canaan, and behold, They are in the land of Goshen.
See, the Most High let you know where we were situated in the land of Goshen, not all over Egypt. In the land of Goshen, which is in the lower part of Egypt, known as the Nile Delta Valley area. That's the land we were located in, the land of Goshen. It was a big area. It was big. Okay, go ahead.
And he took some of his brethren, even 5 men, and presented them unto Pharaoh.
Mm-hmm.
And Pharaoh said unto his brethren,
See, now Pharaoh's going to ask them now. Pharaoh's going to ask them. Okay, go ahead.
what is your occupation?
So he said, what is your occupation? What kind of work you do? All right, go ahead.
And he said unto Pharaoh, thy servants are
He
shepherds.
said, we are shepherds. All right, because they were shepherds too, the Hiscos. All right, go ahead.
Both we and also our fathers.
Mm-hmm.
They said, moreover unto Pharaoh, for to sojourn in the land are we come. For thy servants have no pasture for their flocks, for the famine is sore in the land of Canaan. Now therefore we pray thee, let thy servant dwell in the land of Goshen.
See how the Most High keep repeating it all the time so we could know, so we don't get no mistake where this area of the land is situated. Okay, go ahead.
And Pharaoh spoke unto Joseph, saying, thy father and thy brethren are come unto thee. The land of Egypt is before thee. In the best of the land make thy father and brethren to dwell.
So he said, in the best of the land. Because the further south you go, where you run it into? The further south of Egypt, you run into deserts. So the land upward that was up in the north, which is called the lower part, is the most fertile of all. Why? Because of the Nile. The Nile that's right there on its banks. It runs through and it waters the whole land. Okay? So that's the land that we had. Goshen in lower part of Egypt. All right, continue.
The book of Genesis chapter 47, verse 6, again from the top. The land of Egypt is before thee. In the best of the land make thy father and brethren to dwell. In the land of Goshen let them dwell. And if thou knowest any men of activity among them, then make them rulers over my cattle.
Mm-hmm.
And Joseph brought in Jacob his father and set him before Pharaoh. And Jacob blessed Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said unto Jacob, how old art thou?
So Pharaoh is looking at Jacob and saying, oh, I know you've been around, you know a lot, you've seen a lot. He said, how old are you? All right, go ahead.
And Jacob said unto Pharaoh, the days of the years of my pilgrimage are 130 years.
So when Jacob went to Egypt, he was 130 years old when he went into Egypt. All right, go ahead.
Few and evil have the days of the years of my life been, and have not attained unto the days of the years of the life of my fathers in the days of their pilgrimage. And Jacob blessed Pharaoh and went out from before Pharaoh. And Joseph placed his father and his brethren and gave them a possession in the land of Egypt. In the best of the land.
See, in the best of the land. Okay, go ahead.
In the land of Ramesses, as Pharaoh had commanded. And Joseph nourished his father and his brethren and all his father's household with bread according to their families.
Okay, now jump down to 27.
In the book of Genesis chapter 47, verse 27.
And 1. No, yeah, 27, yeah, verse 27, yeah.
Yep, Genesis 47, verse 27. And Israel dwelt in the land of Egypt in the country of Goshen.
Mm-hmm.
And they had possessions therein, and grew and multiplied exceedingly. And Jacob lived in the land of Egypt 17 years.
So he lived in Egypt for 17 years. And for those 17 years that he lived, was there any slavery? No slavery. Okay, go ahead.
So the whole age of Jacob was 147 years.
So he lived to be 147 years, then he eventually died. All right. Now jump over here now to the 48th chapter. The 48th chapter, and start from the 8th verse.
The book of Genesis, chapter 48, verse 8. And Israel beheld Joseph's sons and said, Who are these? And Joseph said unto his father, They are my sons, whom the Most High have given me in this place. And he said, Bring them, I pray thee, unto me, and I will bless them.
So he blessed them before he died. That's something that we always did. We always bless our children, our grandchildren, before you die. You put a blessing upon them. All right? Continue.
Now the eyes of Israel were dim for age, so that he could not see. And he brought them near unto him, and he kissed them and embraced them. And Israel said unto Joseph, I had not thought to see thy face, and lo, Most High have showed me also thy seed. And Joseph brought them out from between his knees, and he bowed himself with his face to the earth. And Joseph took them both, Ephraim in his right hand, toward Israel's left hand, and Manasseh in his left hand, toward Israel's right hand.
So he's putting the oldest son to be blessed by his right hand, because that's the order. You put your oldest son to get the blessing. All right? But what Jacob did, Jacob switched it around. And Joseph was like, no, not so, father. No. That's the younger. Yeah.
So that's almost the same kind of blessing with Esau and Jacob.
Yeah, the same thing.
Same thing.
It's a cultural thing. It's a cultural thing.
I'm talking about
Tradition. Yeah.
His eyes was dim too.
Yeah.
So he couldn't see well. When
Right. Because that's when you do it in your old age before you die.
Right.
So it's a traditional thing, passed on from father to son, and so forth. All right. Go ahead.
And brought them near unto him. And Israel stretched out his right hand and laid it upon Ephraim's head, who was the younger, and his left hand upon Manasseh's head, guiding his hands wittingly, for Manasseh was the firstborn. And he blessed Joseph and said, Most High, before whom thy fathers Abraham and Isaac did walk, the Most High, which fed me all my life along unto this day, the angel which redeemed me from all evil, bless the lads, and let my name be named on them, and the name of my fathers Abraham and Isaac, and let them grow into a multitude in the midst of the earth. And when Joseph saw that his father laid his right hand upon the head of Ephraim, it displeased him. And he held up his father's hand and removed it from Ephraim's head unto Manasseh's head. And Joseph said unto his father, Not so, my father, for this is the firstborn. Put thy right hand upon his head.
So even Joseph knew that too, that you have to bless the firstborn. So he said, no, father, no, he's not the firstborn. He's the younger. Put your hand upon the firstborn. All right. So like I said, that's a tradition that was passed on. All right. Go ahead.
And his father refused and said, I know it, my son.
So he said, I know, my son. I know I'm doing, because the Spirit of the Most High is guiding him, even though he couldn't see. He said, I know, my son. I know. All right. Go ahead.
I know it. He also shall become a people, and he also shall be great. But truly his younger brother shall be greater than he, and his seed shall become a multitude of nations.
See what he said? A multitude of nations. So when the split happened in Israel, we became what? 2 nations.
Right.
2 nations. The southern kingdom and the northern kingdom. Now, like he said, of Manasseh and Ephraim, who became greater? Ephraim. Why? Why did Ephraim become greater?
Because and the blessing is one, But he became king of the northern kingdom.
Right. He was the ruler over the northern kingdom. Everything was under his vibration under the northern kingdom. That's why Jacob blessed, because Jacob knew this was going to happen eventually. The Most High was directing him with that divine blessing to bless Ephraim over Manasseh. All right. But now let's go ahead to Exodus now. I'm going to show you now. All right. I know it took a long time. Wow.
Good. It's good. Right. It's needed.
Yeah. Yes.
One son became nation.
And nations. Ephraim alone became a nation. Yeah. Yeah. So each tribe became like a nation. We became like a nation. When you look at the Caribbean island, with all the island of the Caribbean, that's predominantly one tribe. Let's say you might have two tribes there. Let's say you might have Judah amongst them with Levi, but it's predominantly Benjamin in all those Caribbean islands. Predominantly Benjamin. Yeah. Right. Right. Like the stars. Yeah. You understand? Because look, the population of Jamaica alone is what? About 3 million, right? Now, how many Jamaicans you got spread out to different places throughout New York, England, Canada? It's probably more than one in the island, right? Yeah. Look at that. From the 70s. Yeah. By the time they was going to England, even before the 70s. It's in the 40s, right? With the Windrush generation. Yeah. Canada must have got over 2 million Jamaicans. New York must have got about 1 million Jamaicans. We have a large Jamaican population. Where's New Jersey, Florida, Miami, Florida, Virginia. So you're looking like maybe close to maybe 8 million or even more. All right. And that's only Jamaica alone. Yeah. And then Trinidad got a population of what? 3 million, right? About what? 2 million? 1 million?
Almost two.
And plus what's scattered abroad?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Haiti got a population of how much? About 10 million in Haiti, right? Yeah. Plus what's scattered all over here throughout New York, everywhere.
France, Nigeria.
Yeah. So we're in the millions. Millions.
So go in a circle to connect to your class. That's how Trump come with his secret council with ICE.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's
The same process. Yeah. All right. So let's go now over here to Exodus, right? Go to Exodus, the first chapter. Now read Exodus 1 and 1. And then I'm going to close out, continue this next week because it's almost 4 o'clock. Wow. All right.
The book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 1. Now these are the names of the children of Israel, which came into Egypt. Every man and his household came with Jacob.
Okay, so this begins the 215, the other half of the 215 years going to Egypt. Go ahead.
Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher, and all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls. For Joseph was in Egypt already.
Mm-hmm.
And Joseph died, and all his brethren, and all that generation.
Now, when Joseph died, was there still any slavery in Egypt? No. There wasn't no slavery. All right. So we had a length of time, even after when Joseph died, there wasn't no slavery. Okay. So when did the slavery start? When Moses was born. All right. Read on.
It says Exodus 1 verse 7. And the children of Israel were fruitful, and increased abundantly, and multiplied, and waxed exceeding mighty, and the land was filled with them.
In Lower Egypt. All right, go ahead.
Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph.
Okay, so this one, that new Pharaoh that was not a Hyksos, came in, and that Pharaoh was Amuz, the one that expelled the Hyksos out of Egypt. All right, this is going to begin the reign of the 18th dynasty. He came from the 17th dynasty of Egypt. Because remember, the true native Egyptians skipped the 15th and 16th dynasty of Egypt and went straight to their 17th dynasty, which was ruled in Upper Egypt. So when they took back Egypt, they took back Upper Egypt, Middle Kingdom, and the Lower Kingdom. And the Lower Kingdom became the main kingdom that they ruled from, and they called that the 18th dynasty of Egypt. That's the dynasty that we serve slavery under, the 18th dynasty of Egypt. The dynasty prior to that, there wasn't no slavery in that dynasty. And that was the 15th and 16th and 17th dynasty of Egypt. All right. So Amuz came from the 17th dynasty. And when he took over and expelled the Hyksos, he began the 18th dynasty of Egypt in the lower part of Egypt. And that's when they're in slavery. That's why it says, read that 7th verse again.
Yep. Exodus
No,
chapter,
the 8th verse. Read that 8th verse again.
Exodus chapter 1, verse 8. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
See, now that's when the slavery started to kick in. That's when the slavery came in. When this Pharaoh came into rulership after he expelled the Hyksos. All right. Now, when he said that the children of Israel are more in number than us, what was he referring to? Was he referring to all of Egypt?
Make the statement again. Say it again.
Okay, read the 8th verse again. Read the 8th verse again.
Yep. Exodus 1, verse 8. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
What does he mean by that? Was he referring to all of Egypt?
All of Egypt, population.
No.
So question, does that Pharaoh rule all Egypt or just the Lord?
At that time, he wasn't ruling over all Egypt. He was only, this particular Pharaoh was only ruling in Upper Egypt. This was the Pharaoh that was in Upper Egypt. So when they came back up from and expelled the Hyksos, you understand? That's when they established this dynasty called the 18th dynasty. So when they came into power now, we outnumbered them. You understand? Because they were only ruling in the upper part of Egypt. So now when he came into power now, then he took back all of Egypt. Then he made that statement. He said, listen, we got to put them in slavery. Because if we don't, they're going to overpower us. Because remember, while they was down in Upper Egypt, they were contending and fighting with the Nubians, the Ethiopians. And the Hyksos had them at bay. While the Hyksos was ruling, they couldn't come back and take back over Egypt. So they was down in Upper Egypt contending with the Ethiopians, the Nubians, and those families. You understand? So when he came back now and took over Egypt now he said, look, we're the minority. These people is going to join up with our enemies. Who was the enemies he was talking about? The Ethiopians and the Hyksos, because they had just expelled the Hyksos. Yes.
That same matter exists today.
Same thing exists today. Right. So whenever we start to become prosperous, oh, no. Make laws to make laws. Make policies to curtail these niggas. And that's what they did in all the cities that we had. Tulsa, Oklahoma. You understand? And that's why Trump then came up with what they call it, 2025, what's the name? Project 2025. They don't care if you vote or you don't vote. Their whole purpose is not to allow you to have any power. Whether you vote or not, they're not going to allow you to have no power. Okay? Because they know they're becoming the minority and we're becoming the majority. But we have always been a majority anyway. So that's why they stigmatize and say we're the minorities. You understand? But they know that. They know they're losing their power and grip of power. So they're going to implement policies and laws against us now. They're losing it and they know it. All right. So he's doing the same thing now. That's what he did. When he came into power now, he said, listen, oh no, Joseph is dead. I'm the new Pharaoh. Time to get busy now, baby. Yeah. Time to put you Negroes in slavery. Fun time is over. And this is when the slavery began. All right. So continue reading that. I'm going to show you something here too. Continue reading on.
In Exodus 1 verse 10, come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. And it come to pass that when they're fallen out any war, they join also unto our enemies.
Who was their enemies? The Ethiopians and the Hyksos. They just got the Hyksos out. So they don't need us to have no more friends. They don't need us to jump with the Ethiopians because they were fighting amongst the Ethiopians for a good while. So now they finally got the power and the muscle, the strength to defeat the Ethiopians and kick out the Hyksos. They ain't going to give you no power over them now. It's their time to rule. Every nation knows that. When it's your time to rule, you don't put your enemies in power with you. All right? And that's what he was going to do now. He said, you Israelites ain't going to rule with us? Hell no. I got a job for you Negroes. All right? Go ahead.
And fight against us, and so get them up out of the land.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramesses. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. And they were grieved because of the children of Israel.
They were grieved. They were mad. They didn't like that. Just like Whitey over here is not going to like what he's going to see. The Most High said the heathen's going to envy you, and ain't a damn thing they could do. They're going to be mad when they see our success. They're going to decrease, and we're going to increase in everything. Continue.
And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor.
That's when we started the slavery began. Okay, go ahead.
And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage, in mortar and in brick, and in all manner of service in the field. All their service, wherein they made them serve, was with rigor.
Okay, now go ahead to the book of Acts. I'm going to show you some in the book of Acts. Now, how do we know when the slavery began? Let's go to the book of Acts. I think this might be my last scripture, all right? Because Acts 7. Go to Acts the 7th chapter. I'm going to continue this most I willing next week. I don't want to make it too long. Everybody get tired and
Never tired of this word.
go to Acts the 7th chapter. I'm going to tell you where to start. Acts 7. And you're going to start here from no, we're gonna go up. We're gonna go up. You're gonna start from
Someone said that's why we'll never get that.
Yeah, we're gonna get it. Yeah, the most we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. The most I'm gonna force them to give us the reparations. Start here from the 12th verse.
12. Read book of Acts chapter 7 verse 12. But when Jacob heard that there was corn in Egypt, he sent out our fathers first.
Mm-hmm.
And at the second time, Joseph was made known to his brethren,
Mm-hmm.
and Joseph's kindred was made known unto Pharaoh.
Mm-hmm.
Then sent Joseph and called his father Jacob to him, and all his kindred, 75 souls. So Jacob went down into Egypt and died, he and our fathers,
Mm-hmm.
and were carried over to Shechem, and laid it to the scepter that Abram brought for a sum of money of the sons of Emor, the father of Shechem. But when the time of the promise drew nigh, which Most High Power had sworn to Abram,
See, the time of the promise, which he have sworn to Abraham, drew nigh. All right, go ahead.
the people grew and multiplied in Egypt,
Mm-hmm.
till another king arose, which knew not Joseph,
See, which another king that came up that knew not Joseph. Yes, he knew Joseph, but he didn't want to recognize Joseph. All right, go ahead.
and the same dealt subtly with our kindred, and evil entreated our fathers, so that they cast out their young children to the end that might not live.
They might not live.
That's one, and in they might not live.
Mm-hmm.
In which time Moses was born,
When was Moses born? In the time of the slavery, the affliction. All right, yes, Judah.
And then, what is this guy's name? The Kennedy that's in charge of vaccines and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, they put him on TV in front of an assembly, and they was asking him questions. And what came out of a documentary was that they got these drugs called
Come out closer to the mic. Come on closer to the mic.
They got these here different kind of drugs that's out now that induces violence.
Yeah.
And all type of other illnesses in the young generation.
Mm-hmm.
That it induces violence where the police will come against them. I'm saying also to say this because we're going into another generation, and that's how they're killing them off also.
Right.
With all these here different kind of drugs, whether if it's legal or illegal.
Right, because some of the young children don't want to know nothing about the history and what happened in the past. They just want to just move on. I ain't got time for that. You understand? So that's what happened when we came to Egypt with that generation. They didn't know what the Most High did for us, so they didn't give a damn.
Right. And
You understand?
Put there don't have no doctorate degree or nothing about no vaccine or nothing.
Right.
He's just there to do whatever he can do to us.
All right. So continue reading that. So it said, in which time Moses was born, that's when the slavery began. All right, go ahead. Read 20 again.
The book of Acts, chapter 7, verse 20. In which time Moses was born and was exceeding fair, and nourished up his father's house 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was cast out, Pharaoh's daughter took him up and nourished him for her own son. And Moses would learn in all the wisdom of the Egyptians, and was mighty in the words and in deeds.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was full 40 years old, it came into his heart to visit his brethren, the children of Israel.
So now when he was 40 years old, when he saw what was being done to his brothers, and he killed that Egyptian, and when he was found out, that's when he fled. So he was 40 years old when this happened, all right? And he left at 40 and came back at when?
When he was, excuse me, not 80, no.
Yes.
Yeah, 80, yeah.
He was gone for 40 years.
Training, most had him in training.
And then he came back at 80. So when he came back at 80, that's when the slavery ended. So the slavery lasted for the extent of Moses' lifetime. It wasn't before or after. It lasted from the time he was born to the time he brought us out of Egypt, which is exactly 80 years. So how many years of the slavery that we serve in Egypt? It was only 80 years. And how do you prove that? You go back to Exodus, the 7th chapter. All right. So I'm going to end on this here. Let's go to Exodus 7. All right. I'm going to continue next week. Exodus 7. So the slavery started when he was born, and it ended when he brought us out of Egypt. All right, Exodus 7, and start here from read from the 5th verse.
The book of Exodus, chapter 7, verse 5. And the Egyptians shall know that I, the Most High, am the Lord, when I stretch forth my hand upon Egypt, and bring out the children of Israel from among them. And Moses and Aaron did as the Lord Most High commanded them, so did they. And Moses was 80 years old, and Aaron 83 years old, when they spoke unto Pharaoh.
See, he was 80 years old when he spake unto Pharaoh. When they spoke with Pharaoh, that wasn't long after they left Egypt. It was about a week after, 2 weeks after, because the Passover was coming up. So he was still at 80 when he left Egypt. So how long was the slavery? 80 years. From the time he was born to the time he brought us out of Egypt. It wasn't no more, no less. But how long did we spend in Egypt altogether? 215 years. Beginning when Jacob went down to Egypt. 215 years in Egypt. And only 80 years of it was slavery. Because the first 80 years, Joseph ruled. So you look at it. 80 years of Joseph ruled. 80 years of Moses' lifetime. That's 160. And if you put it in the other way of counting, that's 55 years left over. 160 plus 55 is how much? 215. 160 plus 55 is 215. So you got 80 years of Joseph, 80 years of Moses, that's 160. And the 50 years gap would be from the death of Joseph to Moses, which gives you 215 years. You could use that scenario. You could use the one when Joseph started at 71 years, his 9th year. All right. To the with Moses' age 80, that's 151, which will give you a space of 64 years from Joseph to Moses, which still comes out to 215 years.
Right.
So the amount of years we spend in Egypt altogether is only 215 years. Not 400, not 430. And only 80 years of it was slavery. All right? So I'll end the class on this segment. I'll continue most I willing next week. I hope everybody got an understanding from that and could see what the scripture is talking about. All right? So I say shalom to everybody. I say shalom.
Shalom.
Just, click end. Yeah.